Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass Broncos, 3/4 of us drive, I don't know anymore. This is your Bronco Talk Live presented by who, Kelly?
White Knuckle Off-Road.
That is right. White Knuckle Off-Road Products. All they do is rock sliders, and in my opinion, they do the best rock sliders out there. And once again, you guys hear it every week. All they want is you to go check their website out. That's it. Some of you got to see the rock sliders in person at Supercell, and
if you didn't, you missed out.
Yeah, I actually had quite a few people come up to us and want to see the rock sliders. So I was happy about that. And speaking of somebody that people wanted to see, and last week they saw you for like 30 seconds, I think. Couldn't hear you, Miss Allie DuBois.
We're back.
Dubois. Something.
That's a new one.
Allie, we didn't get to hang out much at Supercell because you're such a celebrity. We couldn't get into the.
We couldn't get much time with
the
her.
VIP section there. That
we luckily actually got one picture with her
at Supercell. There was a Allie. Bronco Nation had the Allie Supercell section, and it was pretty cool. It was mostly for the pup, though. I think.
Yeah, I think most people just wanted to see the dog. Let's be honest.
Andy.
Oh,
okay,
wait.
That's enough, Dave. Turn it over to the ladies.
Jeez,
Thank you for that super chat.
Andy, fired up. What was it? There was another comment, right?
I had it. I was going to talk about it in a minute.
Oh, okay.
But we'll go ahead and do it. I hope Dave doesn't know he ruins the show every time.
In 2020 or 2020, I started a show. And I've lost my show now, but we're gonna have a good one tonight. We've got somebody special I think our first really Northwest coaster that we've talked to. So this should be kind of fun.
No. No.
Don't say no and have no response.
Hold on, I'm thinking. There's more.
Okay.
I just can't think of it right now.
I was trying to be creative.
Okay, be creative. Go for it.
Anyways, so we've got Blanco Bronco Adventures going to be on the show in just a few minutes. And but I want to recap real quick because y'all didn't get any time with Allie last week. Allie, how was Supercell for you?
It was amazing. It was busy, I will say that. But again, I think it was because of Maya.
Yeah.
No, it was really good. It was a great turnout. I think a lot of people who went for the first year really had a lot of fun.
There was a lot of first-year people there.
Yeah. That was insane. And I think people really got a good taste of what it means to own a Bronco and the family you just kind of force yourself into, and it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
What was the highlight for you?
Honestly, just meeting everybody. I love the views, don't get me wrong. I did Bronco girl.
Asking they couldn't read my shirt.
Oh, sorry.
I love the drives because we don't get to see that in Michigan at all. But it's honestly meeting everybody. I love it.
Well, I'm going to talk to Jordan, and you'll definitely have a VIP section over there next year. And you were on Bronco Nation. We were starving, and somebody's like, "Hey, Allie's going to be on Bronco Nation tonight."
That was super last minute too. I was on my way out, and Jordan's like, "Hey, do you want to be on it?" I'm like, "Can I go change first?"
Do you know? I'd forgotten that they on Wednesdays they do their.
Goodness gracious! Sorry, we have
a dog's trying to get through here. I forgot they did that, and then when we were leaving, I saw him set it up, or else I would have ran through there and give him a big hug or something.
We had just left the company.
Yes,
he probably would have loved it.
Oh yeah, no, he wouldn't take a selfie with me though. He would not take a selfie with me.
I don't think I got a picture with Laura and Jordan either.
Well, Laura was friendly as ever, and I think Laura had she enjoyed talking to Mark King.
Shh. You're supposed to tell the whole world how you feel about things.
How I feel about them.
Yeah, how your interpretation of interactions of people.
I was just saying that they were talking to each other. Jeez, I don't know what they were talking about, but I was just trying to like Mark was having fun talking to Bronco Nation. Kelly.
That's not what you said.
That's not what I said privately.
No, that's not what you just said.
I don't know what I said. No, they were very nice. So I went over to the booth. I went over to their booth and poked at Jordan a little bit. We talked shop just a little bit, and I love those.
Apparently, it's time for Marital Nation.
Yeah, clearly. But I they had a nice setup there, the nice display, and your Bronco was parked over there, Allie.
Yeah, I was parked a little bit everywhere. I was with Michigan. I was with Bronco Nation. I was kind of just everywhere. It was fun. And then I got
where you weren't parked? With ATN.
Yeah.
And then I got to do an interview with Wild Horses. That was fun.
I saw that. Notice how she dodged her thing real quick. She was like, "Hey, I'm big time here."
Mark said they were talking plants.
I know what they were talking because I was poking fun at her plants. I said I miss the plants. They used to.
Oh, Laura.
You'd be at home,
She always had plants.
and Laura had plants like it was like a jungle.
Yeah, and Bronco Adventure. No, I did not go to Windrock next year. There's a lot with that.
We need to secretly bring Allie down here sometime to where we can just a tiny group of people so she can get her an idea what Windrock is like. And because remember, she's used to sandy surfaces there at Hollyoaks. Yeah. And well, you know who's not? Kelly. She doesn't like.
Oh my God, you're never gonna let her live it down.
But no, like I think
you see why I don't like failure. This is why I don't like failure.
Derek's back in the background. I'm sure he's listening
like,
to this going,
gosh, these people are ever gonna shut up.
He's shaking his head. I can see him. He's like, oh my God, these people. He's like, suddenly I'm not gonna be on the show. Anyway, so
Mark King said next year we need an ATN corral.
Oh, we'll definitely have an ATN. We're gonna do a live stream. We're gonna do this live there next year. So
we need a bigger tent, or we need a bigger area though, if that's the case.
We're gonna need better internet if that's the case.
That's true too.
Well, you know, I know Jordan and them talk about their Starlink, their Tesla Starlink, and they're always. I rewatched the thing that you were on, and I was like, man, they need some internet. They do not get good internet service with that, the Tesla stuff. So maybe it's because Tesla's like, hey, you're Ford or you're part of that system.
Probably.
You're not getting the Primo stuff.
Probably not.
Anyways, go to brand.
Yes, we do need a tent that won't blow away.
Oh God, that was another disaster.
Why'd you have to bring that up, Mark?
I did it this time, Allie.
Suddenly, this one over here's got a taste of the power, and she's like, "Let me cut them right off."
That's because I didn't want to talk about the tent. That's what happened.
All right, Kelly, do your thing.
All right. So we've got a lot of folks in tonight. We've got 64 folks in. For one, I'm going to kick it off and say we've only got 29 likes. So please go ahead and click that like button. If you need to, you can go ahead and minimize the chat to go ahead and get to the like, but you'll be able to come back. So please do make sure that you like it. We have Iconic Off-Road, Honest Smith, who, for those that don't know, Honest visited us in the tent. And brought us some vodka and some Woodford and some shot glasses. So we had a good time. Cigar Texan says martinis are getting me in trouble. Tim Jackson checking in. Mark King, Steve P saying hello from Phoenix. Michael Nice, 5-minute countdown. Oh, my bad. Dave is on his own time zone. That is true. Nick Kefkin in the house. Bronco Dudes has been looking forward to this all week. Bim Joker checking in. Bronco Dude. Seth Fontanet looking. They must have been having a conversation by themselves. Eric Jefferson checking in. Jason K. Andy Ackerman. Of course, we already know he's checking in this evening. He's coming out of the gate throwing darts. Jonathan Falds, John Miko, Bronco 78 now says Bronco 78 Adventures. So he's branching out a little bit.
He's been hanging out with Dwayne too much.
Valley Dude 5000, David Zarko, God's Country Overland, Positivity Wins, Jason Leopold, Justin Zimmerman, Bud Guy 8829, Jamie Castleberry, Gia Hogue, Steel Bronco. And if you missed it, we got to drive Steel Bronco's Raptor. Just saying.
Well, you did.
You did for a minute.
Well, not as long as somebody
that
here.
Is true.
Allie, like she was like, couldn't wait to get in that thing to drive it.
502 Bourbon Crew, Laura checking in, Bird Dog Overland, and Mark King bringing up the tent. Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
Salty.
So we're gonna at some point we're gonna need a
and Tim Bart's in the house too.
We're gonna do a telethon.
Jessica Dunn. We haven't seen her in a minute.
We haven't. We're gonna do a telethon coming down the road of help fund a tent for the because I will say we not cheapen out, but these damn things are expensive. Yeah. Even the cheap tents are expensive for that stuff.
Yeah.
You just need to bite the bullet, and they're like $1,500. Like the good
ones. I think I spent right at $200 for this one, and it lasted all days except for Saturday morning.
Well, but that's a plus. Remember, I told you
progress.
We got one day out of the last tent, We got 3 days out of this tent.
Oh
So-
no!
Alan told us.
What's the
Alan
next
was like,
one? The next one will
well,
be the one.
Alan was like, you bought this brand's tent. You need to upgrade to the diabolical tent. And I was like, oh,
Oh my
But
lord!
I was-
savagery.
Once again, thank you to Alan for
Yes.
saving the day for us, sir.
Driven Wild Outdoors checking in too.
All
Okay.
right, so let's bring in tonight's guest. I'm sure you guys have seen this character. He has lots of fun in his video. He seems to enjoy repairing his buddy's Bronco because I'm always seeing videos. He just dropped one yesterday where they were trying to get 4-wheel drive back, and it's been an adventure. Like the name, Blanco Bronco Adventures. Like I think the adventures parts is because he's got to help fix his buddy's Bronco that they tore up. But let's bring in Mr. Derek with Blanco Bronco. What's going on, buddy?
No, not too much. Thanks for having us. I'm trying not to laugh about fixing my buddy's Bronco. I love you, Bronco Man 6, but we keep fixing your stuff. And well, as of the video yesterday, it's back to normal. But once we go to the shoot, anything can happen. So
I like he says as of the video. I love Derek's like as of the video, it's working.
I haven't checked in on it today, but I probably should.
Right.
Well, so you caught my attention. I won't say a year ago because I know your channel's almost a year old now, or just right at
Almost a year. Yeah, we're like 9-10 months right in there. Since
I
we
think
got
the first
Bronco.
video of yours I caught was you were taking that pretty new Bronco out with some older Broncos, and I don't remember the trail, but I was like, "Holy crap, man! This dude is not playing around. Like he went from the showroom to the big boulders."
You got it. Yep. We're in the whole thing, like you said, the adventure side of it. Man, put some miles on these things. We've had it for, like I say, 9-10 months now, and we've got 25,000 miles on it already from everything we've done. And I'm proud of that. I can't wait until it's 125,000. But up in our area, yeah, Broncos, just an insane following, and mainly with the early Broncos, but there's still plenty of the 6th gen stuff. So
Yeah.
we hit trails every chance we can. So new or old, let's go wheel them.
Right,
That's
and of course
awesome.
you're in kind of God's country for off road. Really, I mean, I know a lot of people think Moab and stuff, but you guys have the scenery. Plus, you kind of within driving distance has a little bit of every kind of material you'd ever want to drive through.
Yeah, we're spoiled, and it's okay by us because within about a 2-hour radius, we can be like say on almost anything, sand, dirt, rocks, whatever. So it's
Right.
awesome. So
So what is the background with this? I know we were talking privately that there's a different Bronco in there. And you have a Gen 1, if I remember right, or what's the Bronco
Yes.
history with you?
So the biggest thing where it starts out is my wife, the one that actually makes all this happen, which she wants to be here tonight, but she's probably in the chat, but she's got to tend to the kids. They're, cats go everywhere. Well, kids do the same thing. So she's probably trying to holler at them right now, but she's honestly the one to give credit for a lot of stuff we do. That's my wife right there. But during high school, she had a Bronco too, and we still have it. And that's kind of how I met her. I was driving the same year of a Ford Ranger.
Mhm.
So we started hanging out, and, we like to stay warm. So that's where the 3 kids come from. But
Yeah, I get it.
once Ford said that they were bringing back the new Bronco, we just knew we had to have one. And we got it. And I finally was able to receive it after 2 years. And we wanted to do something, and so we looked in our local area, and all of a sudden this little ad popped up. The guys were they're ready to go to the sand dunes, so we shot an email over, and that was one of the best things I ever did because that's where I met all the Bronco group up here in Spokane, Washington. And then, it snowballs, and all of a sudden I get a text message of, hey, there's a 68 Bronco for sale on Facebook, and I bought it within the first 15 minutes that it was there because it was such a good deal. Even though it needs everything replaced, it's a screaming deal. So it drove home, which was cool, and then it sits. So we haven't got around to doing anything yet, but there's plans.
So was it the video? I always ask this question of people. Was it the Ford video that kind of caught your attention with the Bronco, or did you hear about it? How did you know the 6th gen was coming?
So, yeah, of course, the video. I mean, the advertising was on point for Ford with that, hats off. But Really the biggest thing for me is at the time I actually had a Jeep Cherokee that we'd go play around in the hills and do some stuff with. Nothing way crazy like we're doing with the Bronco.
Just kidding.
Well, it got sold, but really the big thing is the reason we jumped on the Bronco like we have is, to me, is a breath of fresh air for the off-road community. I mean, Jeeps are great, they are obviously proven, FJs, everything, but with Bronco, it's this new community of people that wanted to do this, but they didn't want to be just that next generic Jeep out there. And so that's why, we got so addicted to the Bronco like immediately, and now it consumes our every thought.
Seriously.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we have that problem too. So how many miles do you have on Blanco Bronco?
You just said.
Oh, did you say it? I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
25,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the number. I just heard it, all the adventures, and it consumes you.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I'm there. I'm there with you.
Since day one, when my dealership finally called me and said, hey, it's here, I flew down 8.5 hours, because when we ordered it, we were living down in southeast Idaho. And now we're up in Spokane, Washington. So I flew down there and drove it back. So from day one, it's just had a whole lot of miles on it, and it's not going to stop.
Nice.
How excited were you when you got it going from probably a worn out Jeep? What an improvement this was.
A big one. Yeah. And really the biggest thing was the size difference. The 2-door is great and I absolutely love it. But with having, family, you got to have a 4-door. So
100%.
plus be able to, throw extra crap in there to go camping and stuff. You got to have that space, in my opinion. So,
Oh yeah. No, we're right there with you.
It's a night and day difference. Now, I mean, I love the Ford Bronco, but there's things that, I think they could have done better on, but, we got what we got. And, I waited 2 years, so I'm not going to be too picky. So
with that being said, what would you do differently with the Bronco if you could? What would you have liked to see Ford do differently?
One of the first things that immediately grabs my attention is, as cool it is the GOAT mode selector. Mm-hmm. Well, what happens when that little solenoid or whatever it is, magic box of the shifter, what happens when that stops and you're out on the trail and you don't have 4-wheel drive, So like Jeep, click it into 4 low and it's a manual lever and you're good to go.
Yeah, that manual
That
override
would be one of the first things. So plus with working on my friend's Bronco so much on the independent front suspension, a solid axle would be nice because it keeps it a lot simpler.
Yes.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't drive as smoothly.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. He needs it in his Bronco.
Kelly, he came from a
I know.
Jeep Cherokee.
I know.
Yeah. But no, it's just been one of those, off-roading's been kind of a thing, going out hunting, fishing, just playing on the weekends. It's just always been kind of a part of our life. So.
Well, what was, when you got this thing, I'm assuming you had ideas of what you wanted to do to it, or did you just kind of get it and let it kind of speak to you what you wanted to do to it?
Well, I honestly, the whole kind of backstory, I don't think I've ever actually told this out, publicly, I guess. It's nothing crazy, but originally it was supposed to be Velocity Blue. When we ordered it, Wildtrak package, it was supposed to be the 3.0, just everything, because we were just going to use it as a daily driver, just commute back and forth for the reliability. Well, 1.5 years hits and they switch it over to a 22. And my dealer called me and they're like, hey, we got to make this change. And at that time I was like, dude, I don't even care. I was like, I'm over this. I've been waiting forever now. Is this thing actually ever going to be real? So I allowed them to make all the changes for me. And I didn't even look twice at the email when they sent it over. And all of a sudden I get this ding on my phone one day of, hey, Bronco's in production. It's scheduled, So I'm like, oh, crap, I guess I better decide if I still want this. And so I started looking over the order and my skid plates were gone. It wasn't the 3.0. It just, everything that I wanted the Bronco to be, they took it off when they switched me to a 22, which at that time I was like, well, I guess the idea would have been just, we'll get it, put a few thousand miles on it and just sell it, because the price of them was crazy. You could make a few bucks off of it. And I do a lot of driving back and forth for work, and I was just stewing about it, thinking, and I thought, how could we make this, do something for us, or, get us out of the house and go play, just new places. And then it clicked, well, I should start a YouTube channel. And then I got thinking, well, you got to have a catchy name, you know. And my wife, she's Puerto Rican, and so Blanco is just the Spanish word for white. And for
I was
whatever
wondering
reason,
where
all
that
this,
came from. Yeah.
yeah, all this just kind of clicked in my head and it went off. So I texted my dealer and I was like, hey, it can't be blue. We've got to switch it to white. And so he pulled some strings on that and got it switched over for us. And about 2 minutes after the email come through, my wife called just hopping mad. And she's pissed. The dealer changed it from blue to white and there's something going on. And, you know, she just wanted to go in and start a brawl. I think it's that Spanish blood coming out
I was
of her.
gonna say yes.
And
yes.
and I was like, well, hold on. I you know, hadn't had a minute to call you yet. And I explained it to her and she's awesome. She's just like, oh, okay. Like that sounds fine. And so here we are with Blanco Bronco Adventures. And it started out as just this little tiny idea and it's actually grown at a really big rate. And we're so thankful. And, you know, just, I mean, every day I wake up and I'm like, is this really real? Like people actually like to watch us and interact. And that's one of our, you know, the biggest thing is if this goes away, it's the community behind it. You know, the Bronco brings you together, but all the people that we've met in the short, you know, 9-10 months now, it's just amazing. The amount of contacts we have now that's really the impressive part for me is, you know, it's just that family type atmosphere, which we're really big on.
Yeah. Well, you've seemed to made a lot of high profile friends suddenly too. Like so you know our buddy Tyler with blanking right now.
Bronkbuster?
Yeah, Bronkbuster.
Yep.
And then you've been wheeling with Matt's Recovery.
Yeah, yep. And that connection was presented to us through Tyler. So hats off to him. He's been a huge help on a lot of this stuff because here again, we're breaking these brand new vehicles and I'm on the phone. I'm like, what are we supposed to do? You know, how do we get parts? And he's able to walk us through a lot of that now. So, but yeah, it's been an adventure right there too. We just get a random phone call of, hey, you got to get down to Sand Hollow. We're doing a build for Matt's Off-Road Recovery. And I'll tell you what an experience. I mean, Matt and his crew, what you see on camera is 100% what you get in person. Just genuine people that they just want to hang out. They want to have a good time. They're easy going. There's no, like I say, what you see on camera is 100% what you get when you're with them.
I think that's the best you can ask for with YouTube as well, is because there's so many there's so many kind of fake channels out there, and a lot of people jumped on the Bronco real quick just to try to make some money, I think. And I love the entrepreneurial spirit. I like that, but I think when you see people like Matt and those guys, like, yeah, definitely. And Tyler's a pretty what you see is what you get kind of guy. He's wearing a lot on his sleeve right now because he's a little upset, but but no, like
rightfully so.
Yeah, and we got to say hi to Tyler a week or so ago, but I didn't get to talk to him too much because he was so busy. Like Tyler went, kind of like you went from just like, this is a fun little thing we're gonna get, suddenly now it's a business.
Right. Yeah, no, he is awesome and such a great contact to have. That he's 110 miles an hour. He's put some serious amount of miles on his rig back and forth across the country. So although he doesn't want to come to our event, so well, we'll get him one of these times. He's got bigger, better plans, but I like to give him a hard time for that. So, but
tell him to roll it around.
Just flip it right over, see what you think about it.
Heads or tails? Call it the heads or tails of
Oh,
right? Yeah, exactly. After that happened, man, one of the biggest things we got too, because of the Bronco community, is there's just an abundance of parts. And so I was texting back and forth. I was like, well, what do you need? And, tail lights, and we were looking for fenders and stuff like that. And luckily we were able to, source enough parts to help him get most of it back together. He already had a lot on hand. So it was kind of fun helping that way too, because there again, he's been such a big help to us that then you're able to return the favor, which is awesome. So.
Well, I'm gonna ask our audience to do something real quick. We've had really good luck with this, and Derek, you don't know what I'm gonna do just yet.
He's like, oh god, I've already seen your pre-show.
Yeah. All right. Right. All right, guys. So here I'm gonna pull this up. So this is the Blanco Bronco page. Now, He is at 1,980 something subs. Let's get him over that 2K mark tonight for me. Help me out. It would mean a lot to me, and show him some love there. So we'll check back in a little bit later, see if you guys can help make that happen. And you may already be subbed to the channel, and if you are, good for you.
Thank you. Man.
So the Matt's off-road recovery video, dude. That looked like that put you on the map there, man. A lot of views on that, and it was a fun video.
It was awesome. Again, it was just kind of that spur of the moment, like, hey, we had the opportunity, and you can't say no. You know, those are those things that, especially if you're gonna try to develop this and, you know, actually, you know, produce something out of it, you've got to take the chance and go to those. And we're just, you know, trying to get to every event possible. And I'm just sick inside that we can't get to Bronco Safari this week.
I'm so bummed about that.
Yeah, it's one of those that, man, you know, my heart and brain are telling me to do different things, but I've got a guy out here at work that's having a baby, and so I'm basically the only guy because we're understaffed. And man, my heart's telling me to tell the company to kiss it, and we're on our way. But my brain's telling me, well, I got to make a payment, so you probably should stay for
true.
Now.
But just tell that guy, say, look, man, you can make more of those. Like,
oh,
you know,
sure.
This is a once in a lifetime event for me. It's all about me right now.
Right. Yeah. No, if you get cold, just bundle up again. It'll, you know, happen.
Right. But yeah, so you guys and the wheeling that you guys are doing out there is a lot of fun, man. Seeing you just rip it up this little hill like this, kind of reminds me of the off-rodeo thing that you got to go up a little bit. I
didn't have an RTT on the top though.
Any concerns about that big heavy RTT on some of the stuff that I've seen you do?
Oh, that's gnarly.
Yeah. So Matt kind of pulled me aside when we were going on our first trail, and he's like, hey, we should take that thing off. And I was like, hey, no, we're going to leave it on there because it's just what we do. And honestly, when we got the Bronco, that was our first initial thought is we're going to just take and be kind of more overlanding based. And I never had any intentions on putting this thing on rocks. Again, because the Bronco group up here, next thing I knew, we were scraping the hell out of this thing, and you know, the body shows and it's fine. It'll buff out. But no, there was a couple obstacles there was one, I don't remember the names of them, but we were going straight down, and I could feel the weight of that tent because having a family, I've got to have a big tent. So that is the Overland Systems Nomadic 4. So it folds out to the size of a king size bed. So I think it's like 200 pounds or something like that. Okay. So as we were coming down some of those obstacles, you could really feel it pushing on you. But there again, I'm proud of this Bronco. We're still on everything basically factory. I've got a 2.5-inch rough country lift, and that's it. So, and it goes up and down stuff that Broncos on 37s and 40s go up and down as well. So, I'm not saying that you have to change tire size, but do you really need to, you know?
So, Derek, I'm going to ask you what I asked my daughter tonight. She's 12 years old. You know, peer pressure
really
is
set
real.
The bar high there. I'm going to go with a 12-year-old question.
Peer pressure is real.
Perfect.
Peer pressure is real. So, where is your line of peer pressure? Like, where are you? How far are you going to be pushed?
We'll find out.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not going to put
tomorrow's video.
We'll find out. Yeah. Join us on the next adventure.
So
the question is, where's your guys' line? Because when we're out wheeling, you got to tell me to stop.
Oh, we'll tell you. We tell you where our line is. Like nope. We'll take the easy route on this one because I have experience that this will do damage, you know, kind of thing. So
Kelly's not past that point of like scratching this thing.
Not yet.
So with her last vehicle, she ended up like crunching the door.
But I was driving it for like 7 years before that.
I know, but we're gonna need to speed this one up just a hair faster than 7 years.
Excuse me.
I'll tell you what. There's great aftermarket parts out there. So you screw a quarter up or something, don't even worry about it. Ford got to take care of it. You just unbolt it, throw it away, and put another one on.
That was the nice thing they've done with this. Everything, all the fenders unbolt. They knew what that was going to happen. But Allie, we didn't mean to interrupt you earlier. Go ahead.
No, with the kid, like, do the kids go on all your guys' adventures?
Most of the time, yes. There again, like down at Matt's Off-Road Recovery, it just was one of those that again, herding cats, so I didn't want to have to be chasing them anywhere. So we do leave them every now and again, but up here in Spokane, yeah, they go everywhere with us. They're always in the back seat. The jump videos, don't tell anybody that asked, but yeah, they were napping. So in the back.
Yeah, he's got where he's jumping dunes.
Yeah. So
hey, it's a Wildtrak,
With a
right? You're
rooftop
supposed to
tent.
do that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny
Yeah,
because it's funny you say that because our daughter was actually napping one time when we were actually off-roading, and we literally like came up over and Dave was like, hold on, because this is going to be like a big drop. And I'm like turning around, holding our daughter's neck because she's literally like sleeping in her, she's like 2.5 years old. I'm holding her neck, and all of a sudden we go, douche, like legit. And she was just like,
But then again, she
and then her
also
duck flew out the window.
I got Kelly into off-roading about 12 years ago. So she actually asked the doctor, so when can the child, like, when is it okay?
Well, because I knew this one would want to push it sooner. So I had to ask from a medical perspective, like, what's the recommended? She was like, well,
for one, you're rednecks.
probably. She was like, probably 2 years old.
So Derek, there's a couple of people in the chat asking, so your build changed. So what is your final build?
So it is still a Wildtrak, but it's got the Luxe package interior, hardtop, and then the 2.6 V6 in it.
2.7?
So,
2.7.
Or yeah, 2.7. Sorry. Yeah, all the numbers. But
Right.
yeah, again, it was supposed to be totally different, but my dealer switched it all over. And again, at that time, I was like, I don't even care. And then now I'm kicking myself because I wish I would have bought a cheaper package, only because we're changing everything about it. So why'd I spend this much money? Don't know. But here we are.
Which is funny that they changed you.
So he wanted the 3.0 instead of the 2.0.
No, I know, but it's funny that they still put you in a Wildtrak.
Right. They kept that the same.
Luxe package.
That's really about
Luxe
it.
package. So like there's still a ton of restrictions there. Like they changed your color. That's the thing for me is like they changed your color. No, he said he wasn't expecting it to be white.
No, so I had him change it to white.
Oh, you did have it. Okay.
My wife wasn't expecting it to be
white.
When
I knew somebody wasn't expecting the color change. Okay.
Yeah.
I swear I'm paying attention. I swear I am. And I haven't drank that much tonight. I promise.
I like the 12-year-old questions. It's fine.
See? I got to get our 12-year-old to think critically, so I figure I can bring it here too. So we'll see how it works with adults.
Yeah. Learn from the best.
You got back from King of Hammers recently, man. What was that like, and how did you get to Hammers? Because that's for where you're at, still no easy task to get there.
That's honestly when I started following them. It was like right at King of Hammers. It's like when I started seeing all their videos.
Right. So my friend Bronco Man 6 on Instagram, he's basically our main guy up here doing all this stuff, putting it together, and he texted me one night. All he says is, King of the Hammers, yes or no? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, is your wife going to be bad? And I'm like, I don't know, but we'll figure it out when that plays out, because we just made it a dude trip. And I'll tell you what, that's an experience. Holy cow. Like, you just can't explain it. There's no good way. Do you describe it as, desert racing or Mad Max? Because is it a party or is it a rave? You just don't know what you're getting into
flaming
each
guitar
and every night.
Point.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I think that was 18 hours from where we're at, I believe.
Yeah.
So
I knew it was a haul. I mean, it was a haul because we had a buddy doing the rookie class out there. And he was in a Nissan Xterra out there doing that, and was just I think he was from Florida, so he drove all the way from Orlando, Florida there. Yeah, he was literally building the truck on the way out there, trying to finish it up.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
but in that case, we only took Ed's Bronco, the yellow one we're always working on. So we trailered it down just in case we broke. No, we only blew a couple beads on that trip. So we're really good at putting on tires back onto the bead. So if you ever need help or just call me. It's easy. Yeah.
Yeah, fly Derek out and
he'll fix it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Our joke is no stop till bead pops. So
well, God's Country Land is already like setting a meetup up at your house. We're gonna be all heading west to stay at Derek's house.
Well, he wants to move, so I'm sure he would appreciate the help.
That's Brent. He is awesome. They're again just another person in the community that throughout all of this we just were able to meet and have good conversation and just that thing brings everybody together. So
yeah. Well, did
pretty
you get
exciting.
To see the trailer?
Cool.
Did you get to see his
I
trailer?
haven't yet. Not yet.
Oh,
pretty cool.
So nice, man.
Well, we'll get out that way. So we got some plans.
Well, good.
So only miles.
Good. Yeah. Supercell. So are you any plans to do the Supercell West?
Yes, I believe that is the one that we're planning on going to.
The Colorado or the
is that? Yeah.
So
Colorado.
a lot of the crew will be out there for that, and that, of course, that one's a lot of off-roading. So it's what's cool about those Supercells are every one of them is a unique atmosphere. They're nothing like each other. It's the same people that do it. It's just completely different approach.
If you want a little calmer one, go to the Wisconsin one.
Yeah. If you like cheese, go to Wisconsin.
Never mind. I'm done. I'm done.
So we're planning on that, and wild horses. We're going to be going down that way.
Yes.
Again, even though we mainly do the new Bronco stuff, I've got build plans for the early Broncos. So going down there, I can pick up parts and bring them back. So that'll be exciting too. So try to think ahead. That's the other hard part about YouTube is you got to be 10 steps ahead from where you're actually at putting videos out.
Oh yeah, and then you want to get it out, and there's a satisfaction of uploading it, getting it out, and wanting to see what people, clearly what you're doing is about your adventures and stuff. So there's a fun of like, well, people dig what I'm doing, and how was that for you early on? Like, I'm assuming you had no YouTube before this, right? Or as far as like you did not. So how was it throwing yourself out there? Because you seem like a pretty personable person. Like you're great on camera. But how was it putting yourself out there? And there's always a couple trolls, they're going to just talk smack, whatever. How's that been for you?
It's been awesome. It's just a big learning experience. You go watch my first video and I watch it and I'm like, man, that guy sucks. It just wasn't what we're used to doing, but we just slowly have grown it and got to where we are. And really the big thing that I, throughout my job, I'm in the service industry. So I go in and out of customers' homes all day long. So the way I talk on camera and in person, that's how I'm talking to my customers all day, every day. So it's just a habit. I talk with my hands. I point, I
was going to say all your videos, you're just very animated.
Yeah, it's just normal. That's just what I do. And, to get a point across and, try to take it to that 12-year-old level every now and again. It's just one of those that you have to, how long is the beard? It's long. He knows.
I know he knows.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because he's not the only one that asked about your beard. No, somebody else said, but I don't think it was him that said it before. But he was, or somebody was saying like, I need to get on Derek's level of beard. And I was like, yeah, Dave doesn't. This is Dave's beard. Yeah. This is all he can do.
This isn't nothing. Anymore. I wish I could get to like wizard level.
Gandalf level.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Well, you have the white Bronco, so you could be, Gandalf the white. There you go.
Well, it's funny because Mark King, who's in the chat, he's got this beard too, and he said at one point he had to trim it because it was like blowing up into his face when he like ride and like.
I guess take like the doors and stuff off. Yeah.
Yeah, like you see the guys riding Harleys that it's split and going back. That's what I want. That'd be awesome. But this is about all it'll ever grow. But it's definitely long. If I straighten it, it gets a little bit bigger. But that's about
it. Straighten it? What?
Yeah. Sometimes you got to.
Is there
you got to comb it out.
Hey, date night, man. Come on.
Yeah.
I've been married you for too long. I don't know how this works.
I don't know how this works. Trust me.
Wow.
I'm still a little boy at nearly 50. So.
I didn't know that was a thing that you straighten your beard. Holy crap. Allie, did you know?
Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing.
Thank you, God.
Well,
I didn't.
It's just like straightening your hair. I mean,
it makes sense after we talk about it, but it didn't make sense in the theory.
This is Beard Nation over here.
I don't know. That was weird.
Holy crap.
I don't know.
Broncos and beards. That could get really weird.
I'm like mind blown over straightening a beard. Wow.
You're tone down the beard conversation.
Wait, so Derek, Patrick wants to know, is the Lux package worth it?
Yeah, for the heated seats, yeah, it definitely is. And the heated steering wheel,
Heated steering wheel.
yeah,
That's what I miss.
yeah. And then the tablet size screen.
I do love the
personally,
12-inch screen.
Yeah. Rub it in, guys. Rub it in.
I mean,
personally, I would say yes. So it was definitely worth it in my book. So, but from my understanding, you can't get that anymore on any trim level. I think it's only the high package you can get.
Allie would know on that.
For
She
the
says you can-
touchscreen, yes.
Yeah. Oh, are they still doing heated seats and stuff in the high package?
Heated seats are in
Okay.
the mid package, and then heated steering wheels and Lux.
But it's kind of
Yeah.
limited on how many they're allowing to go through, right? With the Lux package in the high.
I don't know. That whole thing, I don't know. That's a different
Yeah.
conversation.
Doomsday, big clouds, yeah, all that.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. In my opinion, I think they're taking the Bronco out to pasture, if you know what I mean. So holding back some of those features, hardtop and Sasquatch package and stuff, one of two things. It's either going to drive the price up for these things, or nobody's going to be getting as many of them. But I think there's still going to be definitely that following behind it, though.
Oh yeah.
So
Mean Green
that's what I'm
Bronco,
going for.
which is this who we tore down their tent? Our tent was that? I'm not
No.
His tent
Okay,
did
there
blow
was-
away. I think.
There was what was it? Something green Broncos.
Maybe.
I don't know. If it is, we apologize for our tents.
Yes.
Bad behavior, Mean Green. But are y'all coming to Blanco Bronco Stampede? So what is this about?
So it's actually the Inland Northwest Bronco Club is what we have up here, and we're putting on it's our second year doing it, and we're calling it the Stampede. It's going to be a 2-day event. It's at the end of May, so this month. I believe it's my wife probably should get on here and comment because I'm going to say this wrong. It's the end of May, but I believe it's the Saturday and Sunday for Memorial Day weekend. And so we're going to have basically a car show the first day, and then like an evening street cruise. And then Sunday, we're going to actually go out to the local sand dunes that are out here and try to put some Broncos in the air. Yep. So May 27th and 28th. So
the Flying Broncos, huh?
He's starting to talk me out of doing things with Blanco Bronco. I'm just saying.
You don't have to, but I'll try to peer pressure you too.
Guys, I have to say this again. We're at 1,999 subscribers.
We don't know. We don't know what the last.
We need to
Yeah.
for my to make me feel better about this whole situation for bringing Derek on. We need to get that number to 2. It needs to be at least a 2 tonight.
Or make you feel better.
Once we get over 2,000, we'll give something away. So
wow.
Woo!
Yeah,
Allie's got a dog.
we got
to
a park shelf just full of stuff. So we'll pick a random person. We'll give something away. So
so what is your
fun.
you seem to have a partnership with the company behind you. What is going on with that?
Yep. So Next Gen Bronco Parts and Accessories, they partnered up with us fairly early on, which it was strange. They're like, hey, we want to send you something, do a video for us. I'm like, oh shit, like how do I take and impress somebody, and
yeah.
So we're out here and I don't have any heat in the shop, and so it's the middle of winter time, we're cold and shivering, putting on some window film, and that's just kind of how our relationship started, and we haven't really looked back since. We just been hitting it hard, and they just great people to work with. Small business, but growing at a steady rate, just like ourselves. And
I do think we need to have them on next.
yeah, they're fantastic. And
they're so nice.
Yes, yep. Dave and Angie, they take care of all their customers. If you order something and it's not in stock, you're going to get an email or a phone call like, hey, I don't want to take your money until we have it in stock. Or if you want us to do that, the communication is right there. They only sell the good quality parts, and that's what I really enjoy. Is you're not going to get on their site and just see all the cheap generic junk. It's actually good stuff. So, and we've partnered up on a whole bunch of different things. We got a bunch of stuff in the works that's going to be coming as a video series with them, and so slow but sure we're making traction on all ends of it, Blanco and Next Gen. So
Well,
They're kind
so-
of this now. I think everybody knows what hood they're looking at when they see ours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
can't miss it.
what are some of the since you've been doing some, I won't say necessarily always install videos, but you bring new product to light and stuff like that. What are some of the misses that you're seeing out there right now? I mean, it's easy to go, hey, what's the hottest thing that you like, Bronco? But what are a couple of those things that you're just head scratchers are like, why are people buying these products for their vehicle?
Like just the like kind of weird random ones?
Yeah, anything strange that you see people buying for Bronco?
Honestly, everything's still so new. And so how do you know what's going to stick or what's not? Because it's still, in that development stage. And so honestly, right now, there's a couple things I guess that I could think of, but nothing way crazy major. One of them is going to be an install video we've got coming here shortly is the BMC lights that go off of the tow hook in the rear. And basically it shoots beams backwards and to your sides. Those, as Next Gen and I were talking, we're like, they just seem like they're in a bad location. You're going to drag them off on rocks. And, once we got reading about them, we thought, let's take a chance and just see what they're like. And we actually just got them in the other day. And man, they actually look really stout. Like I texted them, I was like, I got to eat my words a little bit, from what I was thinking these were going to be. And so I'm excited to, put them on, install them, but I'm excited to go try to drag them off on rocks and really see how they're going to hold up, But like I say, everything's still so new that how do you know what's, good or bad at this point? So
I have, for me though, carbon fiber, the carbon fiber stickers over everything. I'm just kind of like, it's not for me. If people do it, they, the cool thing about Bronco is, especially the accessories, there's something for everybody, and there's a skill set for everybody too. It seems like if you want to try to put something on your vehicle, but the carbon fiber for me is just like over the top. I don't get it.
Yeah. Don't watch our next video.
I don't mind carbon fiber, so don't you worry.
We're trying to win car shows around here, but I can't find them when we're up in the hills. So whenever we can find a car show, I think we'll have it. But yeah, no, it's like I say, still so new that as things develop, I think there's good ideas and maybe some better ones too.
Yeah,
there's Next Gen. So like I say, go give them a follow on Instagram and stuff as well. They good quality and high end stuff. That's all they have on there. And if it's not in stock or if there's delays with the orders, anything of the sort, they will absolutely reach out to you and let you know of any changes like that. So
yeah, that's the biggest thing. Some of these companies, I don't think there's a lot fly by night companies in Bronco just yet, but some of them you're just like, they just take your money and move on, and eventually you'll get your product, but they just don't kind of keep you with what's going on.
Right. Yep. And that's where Next Gen is absolutely different. Is that communication is right there. So.
All right, guys, you helped us out. He's now at 2K.
Did we hit it? Nice.
We hit 2K for you. So congratulations, sir.
Well,
those, believe it or not, those are fun little milestones of YouTube. You're just like, yes, I did it.
Yeah. Like, we hit the first 10 and we were like, what are we doing? Like, I better go get, a suit, but now it's just like, it just keeps growing and it's just fantastic. Like,
they're going to send you down to YouTube headquarters, right? Like,
that's
they're going to want to talk to me.
Yeah, we want that guy. Yeah, that's exactly what they're thinking.
Well, I remember before we hit our first 1,000 on this channel, we did like a marathon where we were like, guys, we're not getting off Facebook right now until you guys.
No, we were on Instagram. We did it live Instagram.
Live Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Well, we did Facebook too. It was Instagram and Facebook. I think we did it to all of them. We were like, you guys, if you want to stop seeing our faces, you have to go like and subscribe to the channel. Like,
right.
I think it take us about 2 hours or so before.
Took a minute. We started the little Mexican restaurant down there, and we started when we got back. That's right.
Yep.
No, but those little, like, you guys don't believe, like, in the chats, those little milestones are fun. As growth is, you want to see this hobby or whatever it is for everybody. Like, you want to see it do something, and so thank you guys for helping him out there. I do greatly
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks. That's awesome. So,
And now he's
Like
over there
say-
like, hey, I need some subs too. So
I need to start editing some videos.
Allie's like,
That's-
scrape-
Yeah, you do.
scrape
You
some
should
of
have
them
had
subs off.
Supercell videos to talk about.
I have my computer set up. I now have a room.
You act like you've had like life-altering stuff happen in the last month or so.
Allie just moved
I
right
was getting there.
during Supercell.
Yeah.
She moved.
She sold and not just move, but she's remodeling her like 80s house up to 2023. And so
Yes.
she's ripped most everything out and is doing new carpet, painting, kitchen, bathrooms, like
You
everything.
name it,
So,
I'm doing it.
yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So,
It's hard when you're doing it, but once it comes together and it's done, then you can relax.
Well, and that's okay. Are you ever really done with a house, though? Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I know what I'm signing
You
up
are if you don't start.
There you go.
I should have just bought new. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Just like
We're
anything.
terrible about not
I
putting
keep
things
telling
on the
my
walls.
wife, oh, the Bronco's going to come together quick and it'll be done. Nope. I'm just lying. So she hasn't figured it out yet. Don't
She's not
tell her.
listening right now.
she's in the chat.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. She knows. She's way smarter than I'll ever be. Way smarter. So
Oh, Dave knows how that feels. Dave knows.
I feel for
Did
you,
I-
Dave.
Did I see a short today from you about the new light that you put in a Bronco? Was that
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, I was gonna message you about that.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it's awesome. It just caps over and it takes and adds 3 points of lights and it just kind of angles them each direction
Oh, cool.
versus the one just shoots straight down. So, and that's
So what
on
was that-
Outlaw
what was that
Broncos.
called? What was that?
Outlaw Broncos. It is the rear cargo light, I think is what they call it. So, but yeah, outlawbroncos.com is
I want
where
to
you
pull
can
this up
find
real
that.
quick because
So,
all right, trying to do this all at once here, Broncos.
yeah, and we also did their hood struts as well, and it was just an easy, simple bolt-on kit. So,
So what I want to bring this up because I want our viewers to see it because I seen this popping out. I want to say maybe IAG and a few others are selling the same light, but this was one thing about the Bronco is it was great when it came out and I think the video hyped everybody perfectly, but there was a couple things they just sort of forgot about, and I think actually lighting in these things was one of those deals.
Before we
sure.
jump over here, can we get to my question?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry, John.
See, I try to produce and he just comes in and tries to do his own thing. Jeez. That's why they say the show is better.
Okay.
All right. John Miko says, how's the winch with Lux? Does your adaptive cruise control function properly at all the time when you use it?
so it does, surprisingly. So the winch bucket that we got is from JCR Off-Road, and you don't have to relocate the adaptive cruise control. Because what it does is when it bolts on, it actually brings the winch kind of up above the bumper just slightly, but it's enough room that sensor can still project straight forward.
Yeah.
The only issue we ever had with it was on the winch. They send those like little tail tag things, whatever, saying the brand of the winch on the hook. And at night, with that thing whipping around while we were driving, the sensor would catch that. And so sometimes it would pull on that, alert warning and shut off the cruise control. But as soon as I got rid of that, problem resolved. And it's actually pretty easy to install too. There again, we got a video on it. So yeah, go check it out.
Nice.
So yeah, I love all the self-promotion, man. Like I like the fact that we've had a couple people come on here and I don't know if they're nervous to talk about themselves, but promote away, man.
Yeah.
Love it.
We're not great
I'm
at promoting
sweaty,
ourselves.
so
The wife said I couldn't come in unless I got 2,000 subs and 3 sales.
yeah. Yeah, she's holding out dinner on me is what you don't know.
She's starving you to death.
Yeah, I'm gonna whittle away real quick too.
You do you.
Yeah.
You know what? Trying to pull this in here. Allie, you got anything?
No, not yet. We're all just gonna keep talking.
Oh, thanks, Allie. I'm trying to find these lights.
I'm trying to find the lights too. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I believe it was just one of our actual reels that we posted, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was like a short or something.
Yeah, because it was just one of those like quick, 3-step how-to things. So
Yeah, no, it looks
Sometimes.
great.
Yeah, and sometimes on most products that are just that
Absolutely.
easy to put in, you kind of have to do stuff like that. You can't really
Yeah.
produce a YouTube video on it.
Right. Short content's
Yeah,
a
there it
nightmare
is.
for me.
Because I
Right.
didn't know if you like replace the light or
Yeah.
since it just clips on. I mean, that's 10 times easier.
Yeah, literally. Well, you take out the factory light, unplug it, and then on the new one, you plug it in, and then there's like 3 or 4 little like double-sided sticky tape strips, and then just pushes right in. You're done. So literally 2-minute install. So super
Yes.
simple.
Yeah, on your reel or whatever, I was like, damn, because I've been curious about this, but I was like, I don't know. And then you were just like,
Yeah.
"Boop." It's like,
Yeah. No,
Just
it's
there.
super simple to do. So the hardest part was just popping out the old one. So I might have broke it,
I
but
did.
we don't show things like that. It comes apart flawless every time.
Of course. Of
Obviously.
course.
Yeah.
That's why I
Right.
don't do install videos, man, because people will nitpick the crap out of you about, well, you didn't turn this ratchet 4 times in the right direction.
Right.
You didn't do it right.
Yeah.
You're like, geez, sorry.
Yeah, and they'll count too. Yeah, they'll let you know
God,
what
yeah.
you screwed up on. Yeah. It's awesome.
Has that been
Yeah.
hard to adapt to, people critiquing stuff like that?
No, I'm pretty thick-skinned. All my life it's been I'll brush stuff off. It's not terrible, but there again, the following we have, I think, is a lot of Bronco-based community stuff. So everybody that I've met in the Bronco community, they've been awesome. So it's one of those that there's really not much bad getting said. So some people, but it's not that many. And there again, even if you say something, I'll still like your comment. Thanks. Just simple.
That's the
Right.
thing. I think most people are actually really nice in the Bronco community. It's just a couple of them that cause the issues.
Right. Yeah. We won't name names.
No.
I'm sure we all have a different list.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So Danger Dave says, where did you get your white wheel rings?
That guy's really dangerous, just so you know. That's my dad. Why don't we go and let's go blow up his Instagram. He needs to get all the followers. It'll make him nervous. So the white wheel rings, my brother actually owns and operates a powder coating shop. So when we go home visiting and stuff, we were looking at the Bronco and we're like, what can we do that's just kind of different? And I looked at the wheel rings and thought, well, there we go. Let's just body color match them and give us a little different offset of something. But most pictures, they actually just appear like they're the silver ones at first. And then when you see them in person, you realize, oh, they're actually bright white. But they're so kicked to crap right now that all you see is just aluminum shards sticking out of them. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, once you go Rockvale, and then it was a waste of time.
They're done, yeah.
Yeah.
Although with powder coating, it did hold up quite nicely. So.
Nice.
Good.
The nice thing about those rings, though, is like you tear them up, you just put some new ones on and go about your business. It does protect the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, everything we've done, we've only got a few small little chips and stuff on the actual rim itself. It's all just the beauty ring, so which we can handle that. That's easy. So,
Bob Masters, which RC lift did you go with?
So it is just the 2.5 or 2.5 inch lift, and it's the one where it bolts onto the top of the Sasquatch shock.
Oh, so like a
what
top
do they call
plate
those?
spacer?
A puck. Yeah, exactly. So that bolts in, and then it also changes the upper control arm as well. That I'm not sure why, but we're getting actually ready to do some coilovers on this thing. I want to go back to the factory control arm. I've heard different stories about different control arms having issues like that. So I want to get back to the factory one. I haven't heard any issues with those. So
how has ride quality been since you changed it over?
Personally, I'm a lot happier with it. Literally the day we switched it over, it stiffened up the suspension, and I think in a really good way. So I was super pleased with it. Plus, the lift was $400, super inexpensive. It wasn't terrible hard to put on, but there again, when you're recording a YouTube video out of it, I mean, that was 4 evenings coming home after work and tearing apart a corner and documenting everything. And, to get that content, it takes some time and patience. I kept putting on the same clothes that entire week and I smelled awful. But it was worth it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. 2.5 inch rough country lift. That's like I say, other than that, suspension wise, it's all the same. So from
Yeah.
Ford, just OEM. So, and it works.
We're,
It does the job.
Oh, sorry, Kelly. Go ahead.
Yeah, you let me. Patrick Bake says, can you talk about windshield protection film? And then
Yeah.
wife coming in clutch saying, we get a lot of windshield protection film questions. Let's dive into that for a second.
Yeah. Hey, always use protection. Let's start off there. But
That is true.
Yeah.
You don't want premature.
Yeah,
Let's not.
cracks in your
Rocks.
window, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So
Can't
that
even.
was the very, very first thing that Next Gen Bronco Parts and I collaborated on. It's a windshield film made by Tarj, and I'll tell you what, I don't know if I've just got the one Bronco that is just not having any issues in the world, but we have yet to have a single windshield issue.
Oh, you just sealed your debt.
Yep, sure did.
Hey, bring it on. Bring it on.
Signed.
I'm not worried about it.
Well, we got
Actually, do you want to
500
know
miles.
who else hasn't
Yeah.
chipped his windshield yet? Mitch Watts.
Oh, really?
Mitch would have to drive it.
Oh.
Mitch has so many
Awkward.
cars. I'm not pooing on just that. That guy's got so many vehicles to
Somebody
choose from.
actually asked him about his one that's in the GT.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, do you still have that? And he was like, yep.
Oh, that car ain't going nowhere.
No, ain't going
Right,
anywhere.
Not,
yeah.
not till I get to
Yeah, you'll
sit in it. Then he can
never
sell
get
it.
one again if you do. So,
Right.
but in our window, we do have like little small rock chips. We had, I believe, it was roughly 5,000 or 6,000 miles on the Bronco before we put this on, and the film literally just lays right on. It's just basically like paint protection film. It's nothing way crazy that way.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, when we were going down into Texas for Willing for a Cause, I was doing 70 mile an hour on the back road, just cruising, and we smoked a dove right in the center of the windshield. And I mean, it probably didn't feel anything. So, you know, that
Well,
was
let's hope
quick.
not.
Keep telling
But-
yourself that.
Yeah. But windshield was fine. And
Yeah.
at first, you know, it scared the crap out of us, but the wife and I look at it and we're like, oh man, maybe it's the windshield film. And we're, you know, a little skeptical.
Oh, sure.
But a month or so ago, we're driving back from a Bronco get together up here, and all of a sudden this pheasant comes out of nowhere, and we just smoked the thing right at the bottom of the center of the windshield, and the window's fine. So now I'm pretty positive that if you put that film on there, I just feel like it's helping kind of support weight distribution across the window. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, we haven't broke a window since we've had it on there, but maybe I've just got that one window. You know, it's
The
hard to
way
say,
you're
but-
going, you might have to change your truck's name to like Bird Blanco or something. Or
Right?
The
I don't know.
executioner.
Yeah, two birds, one Bronco. Yeah.
you do know that doves mate for life, right?
Oh, you
Well,
just killed
not
their
that one.
spouse.
Not that one.
Yeah,
Well,
he
he
was
did
done.
for
Yeah,
his life.
yeah. Till death do we part, and he was like, I'm out.
Cigar Texan says, "Did you breast it and eat it?" Either one. of
It
those.
probably went 100 yards in the air because we were going so fast.
Oh no.
So,
Hey, I
yeah,
had a
it was gone.
I bought a new Nissan Frontier, and it had a sunroof in it. And I was all excited driving. My daughter's in the back. We're
Literally just drove it home from the
Yeah.
dealership.
and all of a sudden a death pigeon come flying through the sunroof and killed himself in the car.
Oh,
Like he
geez.
just hit the back window.
Well, and we had just stopped to get dinner, and I was like, "Oh!" And I was driving behind him, and all of a sudden he slams on his brakes, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Sydney spilled.
Like
it in
God's
the
throwing
truck.
birds at me
Well,
all of a
no, I
sudden.
was thinking Sydney spilled her drink in
Yeah.
his brand new truck, and all of a sudden he's like, "Damn bird!" And I was like, "What?"
I'm like with my hat scraping this bird out of the back of the truck. Yeah. Oh, I'm no one to not execute a bird every once in a while.
Yeah.
Unintentionally.
It happens.
I
you know.
put the link to what we're talking about in the chat there. So if you're interested in that, go check Next
Yeah.
Gen Bronco out. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to buy some stuff.
it's in my cart now, so as soon as we're
See,
done.
this is why Allie's on the show. It's just so she can buy things.
She just learns what she needs to buy.
Yeah.
Again, we got an install video to make it real easy for you.
I know it's in there.
It's
in
on
there.
there. Yeah, it's on their website.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
It's in the bottom. Yeah,
So-
and Next Gen may answer this. You may know the answer to this. I don't know, Derek. But TJ Miller asked, how long does the film last? We know how much it typically costs because it's actually on the website. It's right now it's $215.
Yeah.
That's what it
I
is.
can't believe you haven't left a review, Derek.
Which is cheaper than the windshield.
There's no
Right, yeah, I
review of
should.
this product.
Yeah.
And hey, Monica, you got to get on there and put a review on there. See, that's how it works. She takes care of me.
All right, guys, no reviews. We got to get him back down to 199 subs.
Now he's really
Technically,
not
we're
gonna
working
delete
for
it.
next gen right now. You just didn't realize
Wow.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I believe that TARS does put a mileage rating on there, and I want to say it's 20,000 miles.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that, which we just surpassed that. The only issue we've had with the film itself is our one event we put on up here was the Bronco games.
Mhm.
We got these things filthy dirty, just bad. And I had tons of mud on the window. And when I wiped the mud with the windshield
Scratched it.
wipers, it scratched.
It scratched.
But
Yeah.
other than that, we haven't had any edges lifting off of it. It's been flawless the whole time. So that's the only issue I have. But maybe that's something we can put a review video out on because, you know, we haven't had any major issues
Yeah.
with the film itself. It's been just, you know, user error. So, yeah, like I say, if I was to get another Bronco tomorrow, brand new off the showroom floor, that would be the first thing I would do to it.
Yeah, we
So-
500 miles. We got a chip in ours.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
question from Joe. Is the film tinted or anti-glare?
So you can actually get the tinted film. I don't believe that we're carrying that on Next Gen site, only due to some states don't actually allow you to have it. But I do believe you can get that from TARS, that they have a tinted version of it.
Okay.
But because it's just clear PPF, essentially, you don't catch any glares or anything that way. So
Yeah.
it just literally goes on nice and smooth, and you never know it's there. So they send you some like hydrophobic stuff. I call it water scare, you know, just in
Yeah.
case I say it wrong. But it goes on there. I think it's every like 90 days or something, and it just helps your wiper blades glide across it, so it doesn't, you know, allow it to scratch as easy.
Okay.
So,
I
which
see
there
another
again,
one that just-
we put it through some stuff. So
yeah, another one said they put it in their cart. So
Yeah. And Nick asked if they make them for the early Broncos yet. I didn't see it, but I don't know if Derek, if you know that, if maybe the brand has it on their website.
So from my understanding, the only two vehicles that they sell it for, like do-it-yourself kind of kits, is a Jeep and the Bronco. And it's just because it's such a fairly flat piece of glass.
yeah,
I would probably guess no, they wouldn't have it for the early Bronco, but if there's enough of a demand, there again, that's a simple flat piece of glass. So it
Yeah.
probably wouldn't take much to hurt those. So
Next Gen said it's 20,000 miles of taken care of, but known to make it to 50.
there we go.
hi Next Gen.
They've been in the chat
Yeah.
already.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I heard you say that, but I didn't know. If it...
Tim Bart's great. Another company that I have to spend more money on Bronco.
Well, see, that's the great thing of our show is we bring people and products together.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, not another one. It's the one to go and spend your money. Like I say, they have all the
Listen to
him.
him
Buy it
spinning.
once.
I know.
Man.
You know,
He's a
buy it once,
professional
buy it
pitch
right, and you know you don't have to worry about it. You know, in my industry that I work in, it's, you know, the mentality that we were taught was only rich people can afford to buy cheap product, and it's because they can afford to replace it. You know, somebody that is on an average based income, spend the money once on that good piece of product, and then you don't ever have to worry about it again. And that's just kind of been ingrained in me is I'd rather buy it once. You know, sure, it's not saying that there's, you know, not flaws and stuff, but it's
Yeah, but
few
we
and
have
far
a
between.
Jeep. We bought a Jeep, Derek. So technically we had to buy it twice because we had to get a Bronco, which drives a lot better than my Gladiator.
It's true.
So and either way, it was I forget over $100,000 of car payment in my driveway right now. So
It's funny. We were at Dave doesn't even know this, but we were at the ballpark the other night. The lady was like, "Oh, that's a really nice Bronco." And she was talking. She's like, "My my daughter's thinking about getting her son one." And she's like, "She's driving a lifted Jeep that's down here." And da 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 da. And sure enough, a Wrangler like that was beasted up drove by. But I was like, "Yeah, we've got a Jeep. It's the one you stopped by and we talked to for a second. Jeep Gladiator." And she's like, "That's what you call a carport."
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I shouldn't say that." Like, no, I was like, "Oh no, trust me. I have like a starter house in my driveway right now. Like, that's what we have."
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
but
happy
with
about
today's
it.
market, I don't think so.
Or at least what used to be a starter house.
Yeah,
Well, now I have a
seriously.
Mustang on order and potentially a Ranger one of these days on order. So.
Oh, by the way, Honest was trying to negotiate with Allie to take your Ranger Raptor.
What? Whoa, 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 whoa!
And then Cigar text and said, "Start a GoFundMe. I'll put in on it."
I thought that was.
I
for the
can't
tip.
remember someone. They're like,
No,
hey,
I think that was for your
someone said that they
Ranger
tip
Raptor.
well.
Jeez. Hey, speaking of Allie, am I still number one?
Shots. Take a shot.
Sorry, Derek. It's a running thing now because Allie is our car salesperson. She works for Brighton Ford in Michigan, and I've been bugging the piss out of her early on, probably 8 months now. To hey, when the Ranger Raptor, I want to get on your list of like try to get an allocation for that. So now the audience, anytime I say that, they have
But
to
see, here's the thing. I jokingly went to my manager and was like, hey, how many people do we have on the Ranger Raptor list? He goes, oh, is that for real? I'm like, I heard from Ford people it is. And he's like, well, if he wants on it, I'll put his name right now. What's his name? I'm like, oh, no shit. Now we have like 20 people on the list for one.
Yes.
So we'll see.
And we're still number one.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's hope. The dealer's wife wants one, and suddenly
That's
oh,
true.
you're number 3.
Right. Yeah.
No, you can feel special about this because we have a sales guy who he like talked about it before because he loved the Colorado. He had one before he started working at our dealership. And my manager even said, because like he's been talking about one, he's like, hey, technically Allie started the list, so he technically is number 2 for Tanner. Well, Tanner, not Dave.
Well, they're happy too because I'm buying a Mustang from them that's just going to, a couple months later, get turned into a
Ranger Raptor.
Yeah, so you'll get your Mustang
6
back.
months. 6 months.
See, I don't say when. I'm just saying eventually gets turned right back into.
I'm putting the disclaimer at 6 months.
Well,
That's okay. So
I'm saving my job.
The Ranger Raptor just has to arrive after 6 months of owning the Mustang.
Exactly.
Right.
Otherwise, I might have to take a mortgage out on her house. Sit in my driveway for a minute.
Sell your Bronco.
Sir.
Well,
we are on Bronco Talk Live.
And
Derek,
ladies and gentlemen, this is the last time we saw Dave on the show.
Right.
Somehow they know the story, but I was sneaking up here trying to do the reservation, and we had no car payments. Somehow, how do we have 2 car payments right now? Had no car payments, living life great, and I'm sneaking up here trying to put a reservation.
My parents were in town, and he runs down, grabs his wallet, and comes back upstairs. I said, "What are you doing?" And so I ran back upstairs because I knew he had to be buying something because I have my debit card memorized, so I don't have to run downstairs. And he goes, I'm gonna put a reservation in for a Bronco. And I was like, all right, what are we doing?
Game on.
Well, and we were gonna do Black
awesome.
Diamond. Well, he was gonna do Black Diamond. And then we went to the Bronco Supercell East, and I got to ride along, and the guy put us up on a rock in an off camber position, and he pushed a button and it went douche. And I went, Dave, what is that? I need it because I don't like off camber. And he's like, well, we have to go up to a Badlands. I was like, I don't care what we have to go up to. Let's do this.
We're going to figure it out.
And I was screwed.
Yep. That was the whole plan.
And now I drive it more than he does.
So, Derek, do you regret anything about buying Wildtrak over any of the other models now? Because your buddy has the Badlands, so you've kind of got to see the difference in those. Would you do it differently?
I would. Yeah, I would definitely. If I could go back, I would just buy a Badlands. Honestly, I'd probably buy a Badlands non-Sasquatch is what I would get. And It's just to save the money on all the stuff that I'm getting ready to change out on here anyway. You go to coilovers, you're going to bigger tire anyway. The beadlock capable rim, how many people are actually converting those over? Not many. There again, I do like that idea because not many people are doing it. And let's face it, Ford's giving you a beadlock capable wheel and people are throwing them away essentially. And so I do like the idea of going, well, we're using what Ford provided just with a bigger tire. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would go Badlands non-Sasquatch is what I would do. So, and again, it's just to have the other creature comfort, goat mode stuff. So
I've been very curious about. I know because Wildtrak is just a sexy, flashy name. It seems like to me. And if for whatever reason, if it had the sway bar disconnect and all that, I could understand it. But but the take rate is pretty high with it. And I don't know if it's just the naming of it or whatever, but no, to me, like the bad.
Honestly, I think because, especially in my position where you have to take the orders and like actually figure out like what people are going to use and like what people are just like buying it for, I truly think it's because they think it's top dog, that they buy that one. Because I've talked so many more people into Badlands. Because really, okay, the grill's different, and you get sport mode. Cool, use Ford Scan. Like, honestly, to me, sport mode really doesn't do anything. Like, I have a lead foot as it is. I don't need that to help to
Baja.
I'm telling you, Baja mode. Turn the traction control off. Put it back in 2-wheel drive, and you'll have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, Baja mode. It's well worth it right there. But yeah, honestly, the reason we went with the Wildtrak was we thought, it's just going to be a pavement pounder mall crawler. We weren't intending on doing cool stuff with it, and here we are. But there again, we've got what we got. I can't go get another one simple today, and trade this one off, get another one. But if anything, I'll just buy another one. We'll keep this one to be more of the off-road rig, and then we'll have a daily driver.
Yeah, I always say that. And it never works out.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, one of the biggest things that I wanted on this was that they did away with was for 22 anyway, the paint match, fender flares and mirrors and all that stuff. That was a huge thing for us, the door handles being all matched. And then when they did away with it, that's the moment where I realized, well, why am I getting this one? But at that point, it was kind of too late when I actually started looking into my order, So.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I could redo it, Badlands, non-Sasquatch, that's what I would go for.
Yes,
I would still hold out for the hard top. I would still hold out for hard top. I'm a sucker for the hard top.
So what is your opinion of that hard top? Because you have a lot of weight on that hard top now. So how is that holding up?
Zero issues. We haven't had a single problem with it. The roof rack we've got is from Badass Tents. And it's just a very well put together roof rack. The way it bites in and it's constructed, it doesn't creak, pop, nothing like that. We do still kind of get the typical roof, panel squeaking noise, but we get up on there every now and again, tighten up the bolts. It's good as new, but we haven't had an ounce of problem with our hardtop. It does have the sound deadener, the stick on carpet is all it is, but we haven't had any problems. So we've heard problems, but knock on wood,
my Jeep will click. The hardtop on my Jeep will, every once in a while you'll just hear it click with the panels, but that's just I think a lot of people came from these in a newer, nicer, maybe a Land Rover or something like that, and expected the same quietness of that. And
I don't think people actually understand this is a car that you physically take apart. Things are gonna come loose from time to time, and people they're gonna be the first ones to bitch about it, saying if it's tighten the screw, who cares? It's really not that big of a deal.
Now, if it's leaking or something, I totally get those issues to complain about. But taking
it's
it
a
on
blue
and
collar
off.
Vehicle.
Exactly. Yeah.
But not a blue collar price.
No. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I will say, we are paying a lot of money for these, but you also have to understand, it comes apart, and it comes apart for a reason. If you're actually using it, it's gonna come loose. It is what it is.
Right.
Well, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people are getting, and we know Allie and I vented a whole lot amongst ourselves about a lot of things. There's a lot of people getting into these vehicles who have never had this type of vehicle before, and they don't understand that dirt makes things squeak. Dirt gets into places that you don't expect it to because you're used to driving on roads and not taking it really in the dirt. And so people will be like, oh, there's something wrong with my vehicle. And
your windows are down more, your tops are off. There's so much
You're using
more
it a whole lot differently than you did your other vehicles. Yep.
Right.
So Derek, since you've had this hardtop, have you seen any of the other manufacturers' hardtops? I'm curious your opinion on them.
I have seen them. I do like them, but my thing is I've already got a hardtop. Is it going to be worth changing over to something? Well, it's going to have to be a pretty big, modular type thing, or a big selling point to do something like that, because I already have one. And that, I know that's one of the reasons that I waited so long for my Broncos, because the hardtop. And so if I was ever to do it, it would have to be for something more than it's just, the new hot thing.
Yeah.
So,
is it due to where you ordered hardtop due to the climate that you live in, or?
No, we just never really been soft top type people, within
Yeah.
everything. They just, I don't know, they have that different look to it, which I'm not knocking the soft top.
Sure,
I think
sure.
they have their place. To be driving down the road and throw that thing open and, you're immediately in the summer sun, that's a huge selling point. But for us, again, we just wanted the, little quieter ride, and, it's just what we wanted out of it. So again,
Yeah.
that's really the biggest thing that I would definitely hold out for, is the hardtop. But now, because there are hardtops on the market, I probably would, just to get a Bronco quicker, order a soft top and then just aftermarket it. But
And at this rate, order them both at the same time, and hopefully they show up at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So
how
do I like the trail turn?
Yeah.
So again, that's my dad. He was super impressed. I'd never used the trail turn assist, and a few months ago, we were down there, and being in southern Idaho, we have tons of snow. And my dad says, "What's this button?" And I was like, "Oh, it locks up the rear wheel and, allows you to pivot." And I went, "Holy hell." We hit that thing, put it in 4 low, and I always keep it in manual mode just so I can hold the gears as long as I can. And
Yeah.
we did donuts like we were on a heister. Like, it was impressive. You got dizzy immediately, and it was just a fun time. So trail turn assist for spinning cookies in snow, that's where it's at.
Yeah, so that was one of those things I never paid all the stuff I covered on this Bronco. I never paid attention to that feature. I mean, we saw it operate, and I'm old school, man. Like you, I want to shift. I want to put it in 4-wheel high or low myself. I don't want. So some of these newer features for me are just kind of like, I don't want to do that. So we were trying to do a video one day. We got snow here. We were trying to do a video with it, and I'm pushing that button, and it's not working right. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
Didn't realize his favorite videos.
Did not realize that I was supposed to put it in 4 high or to get that feature to work. And we were out in the middle of our park's parking lot. Like, look, I'm sure people are like, what? Because I would try to spin it. And I'm like, this is not doing all the fun stuff.
Right. Yeah. Being 4-wheel drive, and that thing will turn a tight circle. We posted a reel about it. You have to look back and find it. It's not sped up. It's just how fast we could get the thing going. So, but yeah, no, trail turn assist is fun. There again, I've yet to use it actually out on the trail. So
I was gonna say, I forget it's there when we're out on the trails, to be honest with you.
No, we used it. We used it at Windrock.
We didn't go fast enough to engage it though.
No, there was one point where I did actually use it.
You actually did?
I was bored. We were with some new. We were with some newer people. So yeah, I don't know if you've ever done this. You'll be out with some newer people. Every little rock is like so much fun to them.
Right.
And I'm looking for boulders to like just something to run over because the type of trail we're on. And I think I did use it on some little quick turn we did.
For no need.
Right.
No need.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was no, but this one here turn on front and rear lockers to go over.
Dude. You actually said before I got up there, watch, I bet she used blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I got up there and you asked, what do you have on? And I said rear and front. I told them your off-rodeo experience was going to do you some good, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, run your mouth when it's out of context.
Have you guys got to do the off-rodeo, Derek?
We have not yet. We still have our, included thing where we bought it, but we haven't done that yet.
How long have you had your Bronco?
Like I said, it's been about 9 or 10 months around there now. So
stay close on your time. They say like 1 year.
Yeah, an email came out the other day about this.
Oh, did it? Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it. So even if you call them and be like, hey, I want to book and it's out. From what I understand, a lot of people have actually been calling saying, hey, I can't get in before my year is up. Can I go ahead and book such and such date and pass that 1 year? And they're letting folks do that as long as you like call before. So highly recommend if you plan on.
Yeah, we really would like to.
Monica's saying, I keep telling him we need to go.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those that, you know, we just go out and start playing, and, you know, this stuff just comes kind of natural. So, but there
100%.
again, I would like to have that opportunity, you know, like,
Yeah.
just because you think you know something doesn't really mean you know how to properly do it. So,
Yeah.
100%. And I will
there-
say, like he said, I've been wheeling for several years now, and like he won't go because he doesn't want to learn new ways to do things. He's old man, old school, just wants to do his thing the way that he wants to do them. But I'm willing to learn and change. And it's funny because I went to the ladies off rodeo last summer, and one of the guys that was there, he was like, "Hey, how do you feel about it?" I said, "I'm a little nervous that I'll be hesitant to like learn the new ways of doing it." I said, "But I'm willing." He's like, "That's all you can ask for, is just that you're willing." But there were a couple spots where they were putting me in, and I was like, I would not have put my own vehicle in this spot. But I also had to like dial back and go, they're not going to put me in a spot that they want their vehicle to tear up. So they're going to just take you in and put you in a spot, you know, that they trust that it's going to put it there. But
that's the biggest thing, is that disconnect of like, okay, they see what my wheels are doing, I don't, and so you just got to trust it, you know.
I'm pretty sure they put me in a little bit more of difficult lines than they did some of the other folks, just because they knew that I can listen.
Well, you had Shelby.
Contrary to popular belief.
Hey, I don't want to listen. I know I sent you somewhere to learn how to fire a weapon is because I don't want you to have my bad habits, and so the same way with off-roading,
which is easy to do.
Right. And you know, one thing with the Bronco that I've always thought, because these things are so capable out of the box, that's where they're kind of dangerous. And so for people that don't know anything about off-road and how to feel for what the vehicle's doing, man, Bronco, the rodeo deal they put on, that's huge, because, you know, you just, how do you know if you've never been in that, you know, position? So you can't feel for it, you know. And like my wife, she's never been off-road at all, and when we were down at United by Bronco, she was able to run Milt's Mile, and she had a great spotter that was, you know, telling her do this, do that. And I mean, she ran some stuff that I would have been nervous doing. So it's all about that disconnect of, all right, I just simply going to listen and take it slow. You know, I always say drive with your brake, and it's just because I have a feel for the Bronco. I hold it at kind of a steady RPM, and I just on and off the brake of what I need to do. And that way you're not trying to, you know, just bounce it up everything. And, you know, there's a time and place for it, of course, but.
Well, I think a lot of people think the vehicle does everything for them, and it's like, no, you still have to drive the vehicle. You have to understand the vehicle, the weight dynamics of shifting, and that's like with your rooftop tent. I wouldn't recommend just anybody doing that, because you got to understand what, when you're looking forward, what that rock's going to do to the vehicle, to understand placement of that. You may not
of physics.
The way you may approach that without that tent on might be completely different the way you approach something with the tent on it. So, and I think, especially everybody wants, like we were talking earlier, everybody wants to get the most badass one they could afford. And well, that comes with front rear lockers, and lockers can get you in trouble. They can be the easy button for a lot of things, but if you're, I mean, I've seen Toyotas with rear lockers they're going up a steep incline with that locker on and just roll, because they were not paying attention. And, you know, grip is grip no matter what. And
as long as you get it on film, that's all that matters.
Of course. Like Tyler did the other day. Yeah, as long as you get that on film.
That's exactly what matters. Did it really happen? We don't know. Nobody can prove it, you know.
Well, it's funny because we were actually going into Supercell on whatever day it was. You don't want to admit it. I think it was actually on the Wednesday we were going in that morning. And all of a sudden I go, "Stop!" Oh, and he squawks his tires.
We have not told the story yet, I don't think.
Yes, we have. We told the story. All of a sudden he squawks the tires, and he's like, thinking he's hitting somebody. He wasn't paying attention. He was watching the dually in front of us go through this like tight gate opening, and he about
ran
over their sign that they had out there, the A-shaped sign. And Tom, who's the organizer of all of it, he's like super cool dude. I'm so glad he was there to witness it, because nobody would ever believe me. And he goes, "Oh, it's you guys. Did you get that on camera? Was somebody videoing that?"
I was like, thought it was a skit of some sort.
I said, "Sadly, no, Tom, but I'm so glad you witnessed it. So I have a witness that can tell everybody how much he was not paying attention."
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a sign. It's a sign.
It is. But it was funny. He was like, "Did you get it on video?"
Right.
So Derek, when that video launched, what was it about that video that made you go, "Damn, I need one of these"? Was there one particular part about it? Because I know when I saw the little two-door going up the up the hills and like at speed, I was like, "Holy cow!" That like
Right.
this thing's going to be like capable of doing that, because I would not go at speed on anything in a Jeep.
Yeah. Well, solid front axle.
Right. Right.
That's where the Bronco shines, is with the independent front suspension. So
Yeah. Was there something about that video?
I would say probably where they're just running it across the flats at Johnson Valley. Just that high speed, as much as I love the rock crawling, I mean, go fast. That's where honestly a Raptor would suit us so much better, is because I do want to jump them. I want to go fast and I want to put them in the air. And these aren't meant to do that. They'll handle it, but it's not the best idea. So
I love the peer pressure he's putting to his wife right now. The Raptor was where it was at. I mean,
oh, she's on board. She's ready. So, but yeah, I think that would probably have been the point where I was like, yep, like I'm ready for it. And where the first transitions of going from the early Bronco to the new one, kind of back and forth, that brings it all together. Because without the early Bronco, we don't have 6G Bronco. As cool as these are, the old ones, I mean, that's where it all started. And
definitely.
they're more expensive than the new ones now. It's insane.
What's funny
if
is
you can find them.
Before 6th gen hit, I could find them in fields, damn near giving them away. As soon as 6G hits, it's like, oh no, that's $30,000. You're like, what?
Nick wants to see.
It's a core support and a door.
There, Nick. Wait, I'm screwing it up now.
Yeah, you are.
There. I got to see the candy first before I get in the van. I'm not stupid.
But
well, maybe. People always ask about this shirt.
I know.
That's awesome.
Did Allie come back in? Did we?
No.
We lost Allie still.
I think we lost her.
Allie's having some internet issues, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
So what's next for your channel, man? Where is it going? What can we expect? Where is the next adventure?
Well, just all over. We're going to attend as many events as we can, but within like our stuff, we just launched a website. We're going to start trying to get merchandise out there, and there again, just being a part of the community. So we want to eventually be able to do this full time. That's the ultimate goal of being able to take our family unit and just, go play and enjoy. Life's too short to just, and that's why I have my little sign-off phrase of get off your couch and go create adventures. You don't know what tomorrow holds. You going to wake up tomorrow? We don't know. So take it now while you can, because you just simply never know. And that's on all aspects of life. But, if you just waste it away burning through Netflix shows, I guess if that's what you want to do, so be it. But, man, and I could sit down and burn some Netflix shows. Like, I'm not debunking that. But,
I was taking one of those offense to that for a second, Derek. Woo!
So, but it's one of those that, because of what this offers, to get the kids out, outdoors and get away from, all the just regular crap that goes on social media that you really don't want to focus on. And to kind of revert back to our earlier conversation, when we started up our YouTube channel, at the time, we had deleted our personal profiles off of Facebook and Instagram because we weren't doing anything valuable. We were just sitting there and scrolling, Hey, there we go.
We're back.
But we had just gotten off all the social media platforms, and there again, when I came up with this harebrained idea, that's what restarted all of it. But now it's for a different purpose. It's not just, posting family pictures, which there again, we're still going to do that because this is part of our family. We're going out and enjoying, life with 3 kids, 5, 3, and 1, and they keep us going. And we can take them outside and let them get dirty and, throw rocks in creeks and, whatever, getting stick fights, that's what they need, So.
You mean you actually let them be kids?
Right. Yeah. No, hover over them, put a little bubble around them. So no, they, like I say, that's the biggest thing for us. So as you see Blanco Bronco Adventures grow, it's just going to hopefully continue to snowball and grow to where, we can be a lot bigger presence in the off-road industry, not just Bronco specific. I love the Bronco, but, I want to go to overland events, and if there's any Jeep stuff, I don't think necessarily about the vehicle per se. I think it's about just getting out and doing something.
Yeah, that's just your means of transportation to get you there.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, but we have big plans, so things are coming.
Well, so what? A lot of people know who Mischief Maker is, and you got to wheel with her with some of this stuff too. How did that go?
She is awesome. She is just such an easy, laid back time of just hang out and talk. So that her Jeep that she has, I'm not brushed up on Jeep, JLs and LP, whatever, whatever she has. The alphabet people. She just built that thing the right way. In our one video where she's coming up a rock and she's packing, I believe it was the driver's front tire. She stops and hits the air shock button, just set it right down and crawled right up it and then leveled it back out, and she's good to go. So
I got to see that. I got to see that Jeep. She was at the Jeep Invasion here locally, and I didn't get to talk with her any, but no, the Jeep is very, very impressive. And it still, once again, takes skill to drive that. Not just anybody knows what they're doing with that.
Like she's been on that Flex Rocks and Rollovers or whichever channel that is. I apologize if I screwed it up, but like she was saying in that one episode, this is a part of me. I know what the vehicle is going to do. I know how it's going to handle. You just have to let me, show you, kind of thing. And so, she definitely knows that Jeep like the back of her hand. You can just see it as she's driving. She just has that focus. And you guys are aware, you just feel the vehicle, you can't really explain it until you just do it,
Did you get her to sing?
My customers think it's so weird when I tell them just to trust Bronco.
Yeah. Yep.
In Bronco, we trust.
Basically.
If you get to wheel with her again, you're going to have to say, I don't believe you were an opera singer or whatever she did.
Yeah.
Until you tell me.
Yeah.
Or until you sing.
I'm going to have to hear some notes.
We can get her to do that. Maybe that'll be our new intro. We'll get her to sing it.
There you go.
That'd be awesome. So we had heard that, but when you're out on a trail, especially recording and filming videos, there's just so much to focus on back and forth. And she's building her YouTube video, we're building ours, so there was a ton of that.
And then you don't want to be in the way.
Right.
You're like,
exactly. Let me hurry up and get off this obstacle.
Streams,
Oh my gosh, you didn't.
It's from Ghostbusters, man. Come on. Jeez. Where you were going with that. Big Bill Murray fan here. But no, like that's, people don't realize too, that's a tough thing. And we always feel awkward because a lot of times we'll get invited to some, just, hey, you want to come ride with us? And then I'm not there to ruin the ride, and we'll need, at some point we want to get some content, but we want to be respectful of who invited us or whatever. But no, then you got to try to record something. And that's why Kelly drives a lot of times anymore. It's just because I like the filming part of it, not more than drive. I mean, I like off-roading in general, but I like to watch Kelly have so much fun, opening up her mind to the way the vehicle is. And that way we can kind of tag team these things too.
Well,
you were by yourself when you were with that too, right?
That's tough.
No, so again, hats off to my wife. She's always right there. All the recording stuff. Yeah, I've literally watched that girl run miles up trails as we're doing stuff. Because one thing we do is, we kind of focus on ourselves a little bit, but we like to get content for everybody. One thing, when we go out, I'm going to set you up a Google, Dropbox thing, and I'm going to send you all the footage I have of you, because it's not me driving. I'll showcase your Bronco and stuff, but I'm going to give that to you so you can do what you want with it too. And she just runs trails up and down just to be able to get those pictures and, different angles of stuff. And yes, it's for our channel, but when we can disperse that, photos and videos to other people, we've had guys in our group that go, man, I've been off-roading for years of my life, but I've never had these good of pictures and videos of my own rig doing stuff. And at that moment we're like, there's more to it than just us recording ourselves. And
Yeah.
there's some people out there that do that, which is fine. If you want to showcase yourself, great. But there's so much cooler stuff that people have on their rigs than I do. And I want to see those things work because I want to know if I want them on mine, And so we take that opportunity. But if we're in a big enough group, we'll try to, get up to the front a little bit. And then we both will, kind of get out and do a little bit. But 9 times out of 10, it's her. Unless you see her behind the wheel of the Bronco, it's her recording. So I might be the face of it, but she keeps care of all of this. So
well, she's the mama bear. That's what they do. Take care of it.
She's great. So without her, it would be a rough channel. Like,
man, you are earning some big old kudos tonight, I think, from your wife.
He's moving up from hot dogs to steak.
Right.
For dinner.
There we go. Yeah. I'll still cook them, but that's okay.
I will say though, I ran an off-road event for 10 years and I was always leading people around, and at the end of it you'd be tired. You're like, oh cool, I bet there's some there's nothing
we wouldn't have any
at all.
Exactly.
Not that I did it for that, but every once in a while, like you were saying, is like some people you just don't get a chance to get, see what your own vehicle or see how you perform. So it was always nice when I got a clip or two.
Roller shots, all that kind of stuff. And especially where there is 2 of us, she's invested in this as much as I am. And so it's one of those, got to go buy steaks. She's invested in it as much as I am. And so she's putting together all the Instagram posts and she edits our videos and all that stuff. And so that's the, if I can't do both, I can't drive and get those shots. And so we both are out there doing it, but most of the time it is her doing it.
Did she direct you?
But there again,
does the wife direct you for the shots? Like, hey, you did not say that right. You're going to do this again.
Well, she'll help me. But most of the time it's usually we can, do a video pretty simple, but it's a lot of research beforehand on the products we're talking about. So that way I don't have to write down notes. I can just remember it. And so, she'll help me, she'll correct me on some of the stuff just so I sound a little bit more educated, but most of the time I can remember.
I'm usually pretty good at a one shot and done as long as I follow this one's expectations of what he thinks he wants out of a video. But the problem is they're unspoken expectations. So therefore I'm ready to go. And then he goes, no, we got to do that again because blah, blah,
I'm
blah.
used to it. For years I did this by myself. So you just kind of go, okay, I know what I need here. Let's do this. Let's go. And bringing Kelly on with the channel. It's like the expectation in my brain is, she knows where I'm going with this.
I can't read your mind, sir, as much as you think I can.
No steak for me tonight.
No.
My wife
you can have a McDonald's chicken nugget.
So you said you got a website up now?
Yep, we do have a website, BlancoBroncoAdventures.com. And as of right now, it's just more of a site for upcoming events and, to kind of stay posted that way. Right. But eventually, like I say, we do want to start selling merchandise and things like that from there. It's just we wanted to get the name and stuff secure before all of a sudden somebody had the same idea. So, but like I say, it is, coming together. It's just kind of been a slow process. The other hard part is, my wife's doing this full time now, but I'm still working. So I wake up and I have to commute an hour and a half every day each way for work. And so it takes a lot that way. That's why I say I do a lot of driving. So that's how this whole thing came about.
No kidding.
So once I can, delete on that, then this will get much bigger and better too.
I will no longer complain about my half-hour drive to work. So there's that.
Oh, I wish.
I will no longer complain about my 12 steps I walk to work.
4 minutes. Sorry.
So
Eric's never come back on this show. He's like, these guys are a bunch of jerks, man.
Well, no, is what I'm saying is if, at 4 a.m. you're ever bored, I'm up. Just give a call, we can talk.
Because you're driving.
So, I'll just be driving. Yep. So, but there again, it's, kind of nice to get the day started early. And I'm so used to it now that, it's a lot of driving. But once I can, join my wife on the, being able to do this full time, that's I think when we'll make bigger strides with all of this. But for now, like I say, growing, but you can only do so much throughout the day when it's just one of you. So,
Oh yeah.
and she's killing it. Like I say, everything you see on our Instagram and YouTube and all that, like I say, I might be the face of it, but she's building it. She's putting it together. She's killing it on that.
I've
side.
chatted with her a few times on Instagram, and she is really cool.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Like I say,
Oh,
she
so that's what I've been
absolutely loves
talking
be
to on
here.
Instagram. I got it.
Yeah. If you're talking to somebody and they spell easy words wrong, hey, it's me.
Oh, you know how that works.
We're
That's
much
one.
alike there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So when it's like perfect grammar, oh, you got my wife.
Yep, that's me when there's perfect grammar. Yep.
Yeah.
Got you, Monica.
I'll get my point across, or I'll just be like, hey, let me call you. So,
Well, he'll post
So much
something
easier.
and I'll go and look at it and I'll go edit.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm
Yeah.
fixing it.
Well, my worst thing is I'm typing on the phone a lot of times, and then my spell check will change it completely, something that I didn't say, but I didn't proofread anything. I'm like, all right, gotta get this up. And
Yeah.
Kelly will call me and she's like, what were you talking about here? I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, I'm spoiled in that aspect. She keeps good care of us on all this. So she day and night.
We appreciate that. So we better, before you get in a lot of trouble, we better let you chase some kids around.
A lot of people call me
Yeah,
bro, and
go.
she's okay with it. That's hilarious.
Yeah, she
Guys,
always updates me on that.
obviously, we will put a link to Bronco Adventures, Blanco Bronco Adventures again in there. Kelly's trying to copy and paste right now. 3K's coming up quick for you, man. You're a good channel. You seem like good people. You seem like the exact same guy that I see in your videos when we were
That's what I
privately
love.
talking there. And you're a bro.
Bro.
Yeah.
But no, so best way if people want to ask questions about any of your stuff, what's the best way they can get a hold of you? Instagram or
Usually Instagram, but there again, we read every single YouTube comment. We reply. My wife, she's always on top of being able to respond to people. And, if you have that question and you ask it and then you never hear back, it's like, well, how do I know I want this product, or is it going to fit my vehicle or whatever?
Yeah.
So, like I say, whenever something comes in, if she doesn't know, she'll ask me and, I'll kind of direct her, but we're always reaching back out to people. So yeah, Instagram or YouTube, drop a comment and we're right there. So unless it's just, kind of a funny pass by thing, or, somebody, saying they liked it or whatever, we'll like thumbs up it, but, not necessarily reply sometimes.
Well, awesome.
So, but
well, you're definitely, I think,
interactive.
I think you're our favorite family channel now. So definitely go check out the adventures of these guys. Kelly, Allie, you got any final questions?
No,
I'm just excited when we can bring Monica on too.
I know.
Monica,
Yes. Yeah.
the woman behind the
no
curtain.
kidding. She'll
like-
steal the show. So
Well,
much
it sounds like
easier
a
to look
ladies
at,
only
too.
a show.
Yeah.
What that sounds like.
I know Dave keeps pushing us to have a ladies only show, but we do need to do that. That
Yeah,
would
we
be
should
great.
have Monica on.
Yeah.
I'll speak for her like she speaks for me. She's in. So just let us know. So,
Sold.
I'll be commenting and spelling it wrong, so then it'll be fine that way.
Yes, Monica, you do get the next one. She already said. You guys say when.
Yeah.
And we need to get next gen
So-
Bronco on here too. So
Yes.
we'll reach out for that as well. So
Yeah, next gen, reach out to us on our website or Instagram somewhere. We'd love to talk to
for
you
sure.
guys. Well,
I know
Derek,
that they would love that too.
Well, we like talking about good people. Derek, we talked to you earlier. There's no easy way of doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not
You're just
breaking
gonna
up with
kick
you.
me out.
It's me. It's not you.
I was
It's
I feel the same way.
but we'll definitely want to check back a couple months, see where your summer's headed.
Cool. Awesome. I really appreciate you guys for having us on and, dealing with me for, however long we've been
I think you
live.
dealt with us more.
Yeah, I think you dealt with us a bit more.
So,
All right, guys.
We get along fine. Now we just got to hit a trail. So
That's right.
100%.
That's right. We'll meet in the middle. How about
But just
that?
let me say when
Perfect.
I'm ready to say when, okay? Don't keep
that's
pushing.
fine. That's fine. Yeah. No, we'll ease up. So
We'll be in
the fact of the matter, though,
we'll be in
Go ahead.
Colorado July 4th.
Yeah.
Well,
July,
okay.
week of July 4th.
Okay.
I'm
Well, we'll
gonna
figure
put her down
something
Black
out.
Bear. I'm gonna get her on Black Bear.
I don't think I want to
Yeah.
drive Black Bear.
Black Bear's
once
over
you're
there.
on it, you're not backing
Yeah.
up. You're
I'm sure as hell
Hey.
not doing Imaging Pass. I'm just going to put it out there right now. It's not happening.
No, Imogene's fun. You like Imogene. That's Black Bear's the one that you're gonna
Well,
not like.
we were talking about this the other night too. Is if you're not comfortable doing something, that's the time just to listen to yourself and be like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
Like,
No, you definitely.
and there's nothing wrong with it,
Yeah.
you know. So, I
Yep.
personally, I think that's better. So,
I know leading in that I won't do whichever one it is you told me that I
Black
would not be
Bear's-
happy.
Yeah, Black Bear's not the one you're gonna.
Okay, Black
you're
Bear
right.
not doing it.
No, it's very overrated trail in my opinion.
Seth said Black Bear is dumb.
It is. It's the one little corner that you turn around and then these you just hit trail turn assist and you don't even. It's not a 10-point turn anymore. It's just like okay. I watched Chase do that. It's like okay, well that wasn't fun.
Right.
You know what?
Yeah, spin
So
around.
you've done Black Bear, right? Or you've been out to tell your ride?
No.
No.
Nope. I
Okay,
have not.
Let me tell you. So like Moab and all these places, for off-roading, it's the creme de la creme. You hear about all these places and your mouth's watering like I want to get out there and do it. I'm doing Black Bear. We're going down it. And suddenly I'm seeing these little old people running up it. And
I love it when you tell the story because you always mock them.
No, I'm not mocking them. They're just doing the little old people strut they're doing up the hill. And I'm like,
officially mastered the old people strut.
well, I'm getting there.
The power walk.
Suddenly, though, this is not impressive. Like driving this trail, when you see these older people, because they were having a marathon, they were preparing for this marathon to run up it. And I'm like, and I'm out of breath just riding down this hill because of I'm not used to that altitude. And I'm like, this is not fun. These people are walking this thing, and I'm scared to death driving down it.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if they were in Ford Low or not. That makes sense.
They had Crocs. They
did
had
Crocs in
Crocs
off-road
on.
mode.
Yeah,
Did
the
they?
Crocs were in
Okay.
off-road mode.
Yeah.
They were
Makes
okay.
sense.
Oh, perfect. They're set. That's all the goat mode you need.
All right, Derek. I'm gonna bump you
Cool.
now before I
Awesome.
ruin my day anymore here by Kelly making fun of me. Guys, go over
it was
to
great. Appreciate it.
It
yes,
was
sir.
great
Go
talking to you.
over to his website and check them out. Derek, we greatly appreciate your time, man.
You didn't even give him a chance to say bye one more time.
Sorry.
Jeez.
Sorry. Wait. Now you can say
Goodbye.
bye.
I'm back. And then all of a sudden I'll be gone again. But
Wait.
and
Now
I'm
he's back. All right. It's good. That's a lot of fun, man.
Oh, we gotta have him back on.
Definitely have to have him back on. You never know. Like you see people on camera and you're like, oh, they seem super fun, but you just never know where it could go. And Derek was very, very interesting. And can't wait till you guys talk to his wife. Sounds
Seth said, just have this dude on every week.
I'm getting booted.
no, you guys just boot me and Kelly suddenly. Suddenly it's like it's somebody else's show. But no, definitely.
Just you.
I'm glad you guys got him over that 2K hump too. Thank you so much for doing that. It's the idea of this show is to help. Part of it was helping younger channels, littler channels, gain some subscribers. So, and that's the idea of bringing some of these guests on. Plus, I want to know about them. I like learning about people, so I think that was a good one.
Yeah, I agree.
And definitely a lot of fun.
That
Too
was
bad he
cool.
doesn't live closer though.
Right?
Gee,
Yeah.
that's a long commute. You think that hour and a half commute's long?
Even Idaho is bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm flying. I'm not driving.
No.
Can you airlift our Bronco out there, please?
I'll just we'll just show up and
No,
Right,
you gotta
Captain
put
America's
miles
Mister.
on that thing somehow.
do what?
I said no, you can't airlift it. You gotta get that thing you gotta up your miles somehow.
We're like
Like that.
19,000 miles now.
almost 20.
And I work at home.
I'm officially on my bumper warranty.
Woo!
Nice. Nice.
Ooh, Nick said, yeah, it'll be
I
Kelly
saw
and
that.
Allie's show.
I saw that. Seriously, next gen guys, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you about getting on the show. Allie, anything? What's the word with Ford lately? Anything good going on? Is Bronco order still? Can you still order a Bronco?
You can still order a Bronco because I just did today.
Nice.
Ooh.
Well, that's because that's been real quiet. And I know I asked you a couple weeks ago about this.
Yeah, like you can't do Heritage, which we knew. But yeah, you can still order a Bronco.
Just don't go for Sasquatch and all the things that.
No, I mean that's you still can. That's the thing. They told us, like, don't do this. And my uncle ordered one. He's in Virginia, I think. I think it's Virginia. Ordered a Badlands Lux hardtop Sasquatch. And it's pulled for production.
Wow.
I told him 6 months, and he texted me while we were in Tennessee. And he's like, hey, I got this email that it's pulled for production. I'm like, what? Like, I told you 6 months. Like,
and was it at Brighton too? Wow. That's crazy.
I don't know anymore. So
maybe
I tell people anywhere from 2 months to 6 months.
So maybe what they're doing is it's like in my industry, it's like you under promise and then you over deliver. So maybe they're trying to make up
for what they did.
All the over promising and the under delivering that they did before. So
I don't know. I think
it also depends on your dealership. I think it depends on how many orders they have. Honestly.
Well, I think they really tried to get rid of some people. Honestly, I think that's what that was like, let's a nicely clean house.
I mean, there had to have been dummy orders in there. There had to have been. Like, a couple of people canceled their orders. We never canceled them because it was too late.
Right.
So, I don't know. I have no words anymore.
There's the GoFundMe, honest.
Oh, for your
Ranger Raptor.
Jeez, man. Suddenly my vehicle's been ripped out from under me.
Honest says, Allie, anyway, I can get Dave's Ranger Raptor. I tip really well.
He tips in dog biscuits. So Pups over there might.
Maya I think she left and she was sleeping next to me. She loved those.
Honest, she did get those biscuits, by the way.
Yeah, she did. We held on tight to them for
her. Joe, thoughts on Bronco hygiene? What do you guys do to keep your Broncos tip top? Don't put a husky in it.
Yeah, I saw that one. I don't think I
don't know. Just like whenever you go wheeling, just make sure you clean everything really well underneath so you don't.
Fairly easy to wipe out. A lot of crevices, though. I mean,
it also depends on what interior you have.
Yeah.
As to whether it's easier than the others. Like, do you have carpeted floors? Do you have marine grade vinyl?
Like the plastic dashes.
Yeah, I would always say hand wash it over a car wash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it broke my heart. I had to use the car wash there at Townsend with the scrub brush. And I've never, that car's
But it wasn't a drive-through car wash. It was like a stall car wash.
But
I had to go to a drive-through car wash, and my mom watched me have almost a panic attack, so.
Yeah, and I mean,
I'm very particular over Bucky.
Well, I just don't want to just sit there and just purposely scratch the piss out of this thing. If we're on a trail, that's one thing, but I would rather you just wash it myself. Do you take your car through a car wash? Ours has never been. So my company vehicle, it can be all muddy, and I'll go through one of those car washes with it because my company pays for our vehicles to go through those. And then I see somebody in a brand new F-150 behind me, and I'm like, sorry, buddy. Because rock and grime grabbed, even if those just not touchless, but those the one that just kind of slide over it.
There she is. She's funky.
Come here.
A lot of good room.
Come here. Come here. Nope, not having it.
She's like, no, Mom, I want to do what I want to do.
She's like, these guys didn't pay me enough biscuits.
Right?
She might have heard treats.
Oh. Kevin says, if anyone was concerned about the rock sliders that came on the Bronco, I can confirm that they are damn solid and probably saved me from serious injury after I was T-boned by a red light runner. I'm glad you're okay.
Yes.
Glad to know they did hold up for sure, because I always had the concern as to how much they were going to hold up.
And I have a set for sale, by the way. I would take $100 for a 4-door, and that's the cheapest you're going to ever find these things.
Yeah, that is true.
You just have to come to Tennessee to get them.
Yes.
Well, we're not shipping.
Flo's trying to come to Tennessee from Chicago just for the fenders.
That's true.
What else we got here?
Eric said, oh, I heard that. Don't know where she gets it from.
No idea.
Eric said, so since you guys drove the Raptor at Supercell, is it worth it? We have one coming into my dealership in a few months and thinking of pulling the trigger.
I guess it depends on
Steel
what you
Bronco, I love you.
Whoop.
I love you guys, but I wasn't impressed enough with the power.
Wow. You didn't drive it as much as
No,
I did.
and that's true. I didn't get a ton of time behind the wheel, but I was kind of hoping for a little more to like take off.
In its
Handle's great.
In its defense, though, we couldn't really take off.
No, that's
because there were cops everywhere.
Yeah.
In Mexico.
I will say there were a ton of cops in Townsend.
Yes, they were.
Somebody told us it was like there's the police precinct is like in the you know those houses that had or those brown buildings, they all looked like houses. Apparently the jail is right behind it. And there's 3 squad cars in Townsend. One of them's job was to pull everybody over. One of them was like an outskirts cop, and then the other one was probably it was their off shift.
Yeah. That is
so.
But
I enjoyed it.
But to say it is super nice, you definitely see what you're paying for in the interior of the thing. It's very nice.
Oh, 100%.
We'd have to have one. Ford needs to send us one for a week-long
review.
Yeah, just to kind of it was such a short time. I wasn't disappointed, but I don't know if
I enjoyed it.
No, I didn't say you're pointing that like I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed like the ride, and I'm super appreciative that they let us drive it. I don't know. I don't know. You know, the 392, when you compare it to that,
you can't compare though.
No, I know, but it's just I don't know. There was something that I just need to spend more time in it, but it depends on your wallet, Eric.
I enjoyed it. I honestly, after leaving there, I told him I wanted the steering wheel that's in the Raptor. I want to trade it out.
I love the steering wheel in the Raptor
because I love the grip on it. Like you've just got that steering, and honestly, the seats were super comfortable too.
You give it 2 thumbs up.
I'll give it 2 thumbs up.
I'm going to give it a 1.5 thumbs right now.
Ooh, is that our new rating system? 2 thumbs up.
What's better than a finger?
I think you might have 1 less subscriber if that was the case. Just saying.
Oh man! All right, what else we got going on?
I enjoyed it.
Everyone keeps saying V8. They're not going to put a V8 in the Bronco.
No. Though somebody did say there's a few of them running around Michigan with V8s in them.
If they do, it's gonna be like the
Heritage or something.
The F-150 that they did. It's gonna be super overpriced. It's gonna be impossible to get.
It's gonna be like 10 of them.
I don't know. I don't see it happening.
YouTube Car Spotters Guide says starting to see more 2-doors on the road. Team 2-door, and I would agree.
I'm seeing a lot of 2-doors in Tennessee.
You what?
I said there was a lot of 2-doors in Tennessee.
Well, you did come to Supercell.
That was a point.
No, you did come to the home of it. No, but I have started to see a lot more floating around, which is awesome.
So I did see a post today that actually made me laugh, Allie. It was in one of our favorite ladies groups. Let me do what I want to do.
That group literally makes me want to headbutt my desk.
But it was a good one today. So she posted that she was driving her 4-door Bronco, and she had like sent her husband and son off or something in their other 2-door Bronco, and she kept chasing this like 2-door Bronco down. And all of a sudden they got to a light, and then she realized it was her husband's because she was like, "That's such a good looking Bronco." And then she realized it was her husband in the Bronco.
Oh,
so I thought it was hilarious. So I had to share.
How did you not recognize your own car?
I don't know, because I look at the license plate. Like I already know, like even when we don't have a special license plate, I know what our license plate is. Like
mine's it was funny. I had posted one of the pictures from Supercell, and they're like, the blue teal hooks completely give it away. I'm like, sorry. Yes. If the plate doesn't give it away, my tow hooks do.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Mobile. Dave falling out of love with the Range Raptor? No, not at all. I think that's a whole different vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, I think Broncos, it's a heavy vehicle.
Joe Bronco says, I want a V8 myself.
See, they understand. I love you guys, and I'm very appreciative of you throwing us the keys, and it was fun to drive. I need it like you said. It's one of those you just kind of you need some time in it to understand the vehicle a little better.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome, parent. Thank you for showcasing my son and all his hard work.
Of course.
Aww.
Let's see what else we got. We're about to wrap this one up. So if you have any questions or comments, I got some nuggies that keep staring at me. 5 o'clock comes quick.
Yeah, Jessica, she saw the cat.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what she said. Oh, it was a kitty.
Oh, yeah. Allie runs a zoo. You need a bird or something too.
No, we don't.
Maybe some hamsters.
Nope.
Come on, Allie, be fun. Let the
Nope.
cat chase those hamsters. That's entertainment.
What are you doing?
Oh,
Doing dog things.
I see you got your poster behind you.
I do.
If y'all didn't know, that's from the Tail of the Dragon. Allie, Tail and the Dragon has like 100 different photographers. It seems like out there.
And it's like he like put it like on a board.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that, so I'm pretty excited.
So you ordered that directly from the person?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
I just told him that I gave him the picture, and I'm like, I want this in my office. You pick the size. I don't care. And he like walked it over today. He's like, will this work? I'm like, holy crap, yes. I'm like, this is fantastic. So I now have a 2x3 picture of Bucky that will be probably here somewhere. I don't know.
So when you sell him, you'll have him.
Yeah, so that company does all of our pictures in our building and like wraps all of our vehicles. So I can't sell him cars. The manager.
No, I'm talking about when you sell Bucky.
When you sell Bucky is what he's saying.
Oh, I saw him, Bucky.
He said, "Don't be talking like that."
How many mods do you have on Bucky? Can you count them? Or is there 100?
Plasti dip doesn't count.
No, I'm talking about a whole nother thing.
I know where he's going with this.
Oh man, sorry.
Positivity Wins says my Wildtrak is in transit, hoping to have it by the end of the week.
Woohoo! Congrats!
It's awesome.
Is the front locker worth the extra cost if you don't plan on doing rock crawling?
I mean,
no.
I mean, you could just go with a base if you don't plan on,
and just make it look how you want to look at.
Yeah. But at minimum, for me personally, I would go with the rear locker. I think Badland or Black Diamond comes with a rear locker. I think you can get Badland.
Yeah, I would say at least a rear locker. Now that I actually have some experience, I would say at least a rear locker.
Yeah.
So that's if you plan on rock or if you do plan on wheeling.
No, but I mean, even in slippery conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that.
I've never used it in that mode.
Depending on your weather conditions, I mean, front and rear lockers in the snow would be great. You trust me, you would love having that feature.
You mean my control issues? It would help.
Yes.
Jason Leopold says Dave is number one on the list and number one in our hearts.
Aw.
At least somebody said something nice.
One thing. He probably was being sarcastic.
Probably. He did say LOL. Bird Dog Overland says bucket list item: go wheeling with Blanco Bronco Adventures.
Seriously, I want to.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
I'm not gonna lie, because of Jessica's comment, I am so glad I'm out of my HOA.
I have to mud puddle in my driveway after rinsing off from off-roading Sunday. Hope the HOA doesn't send me a notice. Yeah, I'm so glad we're not in
so many times of how much dirt I left. I don't care.
Yeah. Honestly, I won't say we chose this house because it didn't have an HOA, but it was a deciding factor that it didn't have an HOA.
Yep. In our last neighborhood, they thought they were an HOA, but they were not.
Yeah.
They treated you like you were in one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have to go. Someone has to go out.
Yeah, I think we're about to wrap too.
All right. So whether it be two-wheel drive.
Four-wheel drive.
It only matters what you drive if we're driving what, Kelly?
Broncos, because it's Bronco Talk Live on Monday nights with Allie Du Bois and ATN.
Peace. Not doing anything.